YouTube, go to Play Store. For Apple phone, go to App Store.
搜寻 YouTube，
Search YouTube
点击安装。
and tap Install.
第二步，
The
注册
second step
YouTube 账
is
号
to register an
进入
YouTube
YouTube
account.
应用，
Go to YouTube app,
建立账户，
establish an account.
建立个人账户，
To set up your personal
姓名。
account, enter your name,
出生年月日，
birthday,
性别，
gender,
自行建立 Gmail 地址，
and then your Gmail address. You
输入
need
地址
to
名称。
create your Gmail address, and now put your Gmail address
输
here.
入并确认你的密
Enter
码，
and confirm your
按下
password
继续，
and tap continue.
输入电话号码，
Enter your phone number.
收到含有验证码的简讯后，
After you receive the verification
使用该
code,
验证码
use that
验证您的
to
手机号码，
verify your phone
按下
number
继续，
and tap continue.
账号注册成功。
Now
第三
you've
步，
successfully
订阅金bodhi 真
registered your
实频
account.
道。
So third step is to
进入
subscribe to
YouTube 应用，
Grandmaster JinBodhi's
在
YouTube
搜
channel.
寻
Go
打
to
出
YouTube,
金菩提真
search
师，
Grandmaster
选取
JinBodhi.
正确的频道。
Choose the
进
right
入频道
channel.
后可以看到
When you
总是各种
get to
精
the
彩
right
的开
channel,
始
you'll
与
see
直播
Grandmaster
记录。
JinBodhi's wonderful teachings and live stream records.
记得在频道按下订阅，
Remember to tap
并开小铃
subscribe
铛，
and turn on all
接受各种通
notifications.
知。第四步，
The
快
fourth
速看
step
到
is
喜
to
欢的
quickly
开始
see
内容，
your most favorable
点击
part
影
of the
片，
video.
点击
Tap
到
that
三角
video
形符
and
号，
then that triangle.
滑动预览，
Scroll down, you see lots of time codes
点击
and
时间
just
点即
tap the
可。
time code of your favorable part.
如果喜
You'll,
欢
you'll
这
be
些
able
影
to
片，
watch it right away. If you like this
请
video,
点赞、
please tap like
留言、
and leave comments.
分享给亲朋好友，
Share with your friends and family.
教会您身边的亲朋好友。
Teach your family and friends to subscribe to Grandmaster JinBodhi's YouTube channel so that they can establish their own connection with Grandmaster that will bring you immeasurable merits. Hello, my dear friends.
今天咱们聊的话题啊，
So
就是
today's
其实就是
topic
年轻人的
is
各种各
for
样的烦恼。
young
虽然
people
说
for all
中老年
kinds
人
of
事情也不少啊，
problems or
但是呢，
frustrations from them.
我觉
Even
得
though
年轻
middle
人啊，
age or seniors, they
因为
also
这
have
个
lots of
未来还没有发
issues,
生
but
啊，
because
那
young
么对
people,
未来
their
通
future
常
is
都
still
会有一些
far
困惑，
away.
有
I
些
mean,
担忧
they might have a
所以呢，
lot of
烦恼更多。
confusions or
还
worries
有
about
呢，
their future,
其实
so they have
从
maybe
孩
even
子
more
出
frustrations.
生，
And
你看
also,
6、7岁之前那个压力感
you
啊，
know,
可能他们因为
before
年龄
6
小
or
不
7
明显。
years old,
但是
maybe
从
because
上
they're
小
too
学开
young,
始，
it's not very
你看家长
very
开始
clear.
给孩子
And
选择
ever
学
since
校，
they go to
家
school,
长的压力的时候
you，know,
孩子也淡淡的有感觉，对
when
不对？
the parents are choosing
好，
a school for
从一
them,
年级
the
到
parents has
5、
the
6年
pressure
级，
and
这
the
个叫
kids
做
will
小
start
学，
to
台湾叫
feel
国
it.
小啊。这个
And
小学期间，
from
你们觉得这
kindergarten,
个
grade
孩子
1,
们在读
and
书上，
in the
他有没
elementary
有
school,
心理上有
do
一种
you
压力的
think
烦恼？
the children
比
would
如说
have
他的
some
考试成
stress
绩不
or
是特别
pressure
好，
if they don't
那
have
孩子这
good
么大的时候有没有
grade
一
in
种荣辱
school?
之心呢？
Do they
这个还真有
feel
的。
真有吧？
any
嗯，
if they
那
don't
像
have a
我
good
小
grade,
学
would
5
they
年级
feel
的时候，
shame?
就是
Well,
老师认为你应该考得更
both
好，
of the
结果
ladies
我考
thinks
的这个
yes.
分数
Well,
不如老师想的理想
so
哈，
if
那
the
我
teacher
自己也
think
不
that
高兴
actually
了。
I can do
那
better
还
than
得站
what
起
I
来，还
got,
得
then
那
I
个
don't
站到
feel good.
班级前面，
And
还
when
得
I
写检
stand
讨。
at the
哦，
time, I would
完
have
了还
to
得当着大家
stand in front of everyone and wrote my, you know, why I did that, and so like my to write sorry about that, and then that's in China, and so the teacher would say, oh, you said so many sorry, why didn't you do harder, work harder before? And anyways, so the children already had the feeling of shame, and maybe some people would have jealousy when they start to express that. At what age they would start to do that? Joyce said it's starting from grade 1, and Christine thinks that ever since they start to compare, then they would feel that. Grandmaster said, I think it's starting like 2.5 years old. Most people think, oh, they're very young, they don't know anything, but actually at that time they already start to have jealousy. Oh, they will compare and think, oh, you're better than me. And if the siblings, when they do the same thing, and maybe the parent only praised one person, the child who hasn't been praised would feel very bad, or don't even want to have food. And so just from that age, they would feel shame, or they would feel jealousy, and then if they haven't been praised, they would be irritated. And then when they are praised, they would feel so happy. And if you have a cat or dog, if you praise them or if they scold them, they actually know, they actually understand. Yeah, you can see that they can show very happy when they're praised. And so human beings, you know, when they are like 2 years old, maybe at that time they're not very good at expressing, but like 2.5 years old, they're able to express their feelings and emotions. After they leave their home and go to kindergarten and elementary school, then the children will start to have those, that kind of, they will be nervous or stressed about, oh, what the teacher is saying, who the teacher praise. And yeah, maybe they will say, oh, maybe the teacher doesn't like me. And yeah, maybe the teacher didn't directly scold him, and he would say, oh, the teacher scolded me because the teacher only praised maybe another child. And so later the children will become more and more intelligent, and then this kind of emotions will be more like comparing and jealousy. And so there are good things and advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage is that they won't be happy. The good thing, advantage, is that they will be inspired to work harder, maybe. Yeah, so it becomes, if they turn the pressure into motivation, then that's an advantage. And so see, the children, when they're so young, they already start to have pressure, let alone in high school. Yeah, either junior high or high, and they now start, the studies are harder than before, and then they also need to take a lot of exams, and their goals, you know, they all have like a very single goal, and the competition is much harder. So now we're talking about their stress and pressure. After grade 3 to the 4 years in university, there's another phenomenon. Okay, when they're in school, do they have a good friend in school? Is that very important? Yeah, at least they need to have one. Otherwise, they would feel extremely lonely when, you know, after a class, you know, those kids, if they call their friends to go and play and leave you out, then you will really feel bad. And in China, when they celebrate birthday, they would invite good friends to come to the birthday party. Those who are invited are very happy, but those who haven't been invited would feel left out. Yeah, so maybe they invited almost everybody else, but not me, then what would you feel? Yeah.
逃避了。
It would
这么
be,
小
yeah.
感这么小
So
就要
it
开
would
始面对
be,
这种
um,
社会
they would
人
feel
际
a lot
关
of
系
failure
因
or
为我们都是社会群居的这种
yeah,
个性嘛
because we live in a
所
society,
谓
you
佛说
know.
贪嗔痴慢疑的事儿已经开始
So,
发生了，
you know,
就在
what
孩子身
Buddha
上。
talks
孩子哪懂得
about
去解脱呀？
greed and anger,
只能是压
ignorance,
力和
and
烦
you know
恼
all these
越来
five
越重。
poisons actually start
就是这样。
at that time.
所以很多家长不知道，
And a lot of
回
parents
来之
don't
后
know
只问
about it.
考得
They
怎么样，
just ask their children,
很少人
"Oh,
问，哎，
what
你
is
朋友
your
怎么样？
test grade,
很少这样
test
问，你说
result?"
你
And
今天玩什么了？
they
对不
very
对？
rarely would
家长
ask,
只
"Oh,
关
how's
心
your
孩子今天
friend?"
考
or
得
"What
怎么
did
样，
you play with
老
your
师有没有骂
friend?"
你
And
之类的。
yeah,
哎，
and they would only
有
ask,
没有考
"Oh,
得比上次更好？
what did the teacher say about
这是
you?
家
Or
长
did you
关注
have
的
a
点呢，
better
就是一切
grade in
把
your
所有的都
test
节
or
约了，那
exam?"
是最
And
重要
so
的点。其实呢，
the
孩
parents
子我们现在说压力，
sometimes
就是
only care
对不对？
about
有没
those,
有
but
好
actually
朋友
for
在
the
一起
kids,
读
whether
书，
they have
一
good
起玩耍，
friends to
其实对于
study
孩子
together
这个现象
to,
来
you know,
说，
to
不次于
play
读书成绩。
with,
还真的是
yeah,
我
is
我记得
very
当时我们就是在
important.
中学里交
Um,
友的时候嘛
so
那
Christine
个时候还
said
是
in
比
my
较的
high school, when
开
I
放
make
和
friends
挺
at
轻
that
松的
time,
所以
it
其
was
实
actually
周末
very
经常
open
同
and
学
very
都串门
relaxed, and a
你
lot
到
of
我家来我到你家
classmates
去
would,
的那样
you
子
know, they would
那
go
这
to
个时候
each
其实父
other's
母亲
home
还会
and
看你交的朋友是
the
来找你
parents
玩
would
的呢
see
还是找你一
their
起来复
friends,
习功
oh,
课
are
的
they
他
coming
们就
here
比较
to
欢
play
迎那
with
些
you
跟
or
你一块
to
儿
study
周末
with
还
you?
跟你
They
一块儿来复
definitely
习功
would
课啊或者
welcome
哪
the
怕是
friends who
对答
come
案呐
to
或者是怎么的
study
哎
with
呦
you and
父
do
母亲都
homework
招待的
with
很
you.
好
And
好吃好喝的
yeah, so
如果是
those
说哎呀
kids,
把
when
你
they
叫出
come,
去
then the
玩呢
parents
哎
would,
父母亲
you
虽然
know,
也要
treat
答
them
应
really
虽然也
well
我
and
觉得
offer
父
a
母
lot
答应
of
的
food
但
and
是总觉得
snacks.
哎
But
少玩
those
一点
people
啊
who
还要做功
come
课
and
啊都
call
是这
you
样
out
说
to
的
play,
对
then the parents are not happy
那么
about
刚才
that.
说，除了在学校中，他
So
有朋
Grandmaster
友的
says
带
in
给
the
他的快
school,
乐感，
not only
其实也是
the
一种安
friends
慰
are
啊。
bringing
他没
them
有伴侣的
happiness,
时候，
but
其实
also
他会孤
it's
单。
a lot of,
这种
they
心
also bring
情
them
呢是
comfort
什么
when they
样的？无
don't
论
have
男
a
女，当
friend,
你
they will
离
feel
开爸
lonely,
爸妈妈
whether
这个
it's a
怀
boy
抱
or a
和
girl
这个
after
视
they
线范围
leave
的时
their
候呢，其实
parents.
他会有一种危机感。
Yeah, they would
就
feel
在
some
古代的时候，就在
crisis.
森林里头。
Yeah, in the
对
ancient
你落单
times,
的时候，你看那个
human
老虎、狮
beings,
子
when
啊，
they're in the
它指的是
forest, when
落
they're
单的
alone,
时候的
you know,
牛
tigers
羊
always
嘛
try
对啊，
to
你看它落单了，
catch
一
and
群狮
eat
子攻击
those
它，这群狮子
lonely,
就有饭
you
吃，
know,
对不
deers
对？
or
人也怕落单。
animals.
啊，一
And
落单就是孤
human
单，一
beings
孤单就
also,
被
when
吃
they're
掉。
alone, they're
相
more
反还
likely
是
to
会
be
孤
caught
所以还
or
是为了一种
and
生存的这
so
种危
in
机
order
感。
我是说
to
这种现
survive,
象
so
呢，
Joyce
这个
said.
害怕一个人孤单的感
The
觉，
Grandmaster
其实在我
says
们
the
的人类基
fear
因
for
之中
being
是远古
alone
时期的一种感
it
觉，
actually
你比如
is
说今天
coming
灾难来
from
了，地震
long,
了，
long time ago,
对不对？你
from
被
the
压到
ancient
床
times.
下头的时候，需不需要有人把你给弄出来？
So,
哈，
say for
需要
example,
对
if
不对？
the
还
house
有什么
collapsed
有
and
点
if
太
you're
厉害了。
covered by
咱们
the
过去都是
bricks,
农
do
业
you
社
need
会，
somebody to help
就
you
是到了
out?
丰收的时候，
And also
哎呀，
in
那么多
the
庄稼都给
agriculture
割下来，
society, you
啊，一
need
个是
to
割不动，这
harvest, and
这
there's
个
so
很大的
such
一
a
个
big
工作
field.
压力。
One
第二个
person
弄不回
alone
家，
are not able
这个
to
就是需要就是呼朋
you
唤
know
友啊，也
to
帮忙来
harvest
弄。
all of them, and so
哎，
you need
所以
to
人是一个群居动
call
物，离不
friends
开
and also
这个
for
朋友、
bringing
亲
those
戚等等的这个
crops
帮助。
home, and you also need
所以当
friends.
一个
So
人落
human
单的时
beings
候，
cannot
是
be
很有
alone.
危
They
机感，
always need
就心里就
friends,
紧
and so
张
when
了。
you're
哎，
alone,
这
you
时候
do
我不
feel
敢
the
训上
crisis,
司
and
的，
you'll feel very nervous,
尤
and
其是
maybe
有同学
even
欺负他。
没
they
错
don't want to go to
对，
school,
甚至都
especially
决
if
定
there
转
are
学
people
呀
嗯，
bullying
这
them,
样子
and they even want to
这个
change
感
to
觉
another
就是
school.
从幼儿
So
园
this
一直
kind
到大
of
学，
feeling from
这个都是
kindergarten,
非
from
常的需
preschool
要
to
的。当然
university,
到大学
they
就是说
really
有没
need
有
that
朋友的
in
话，
the
会有孤单
university.
感，但是他
Having
这种自律感就开始
Well, they start to have self-discipline. If you don't care about, if you don't talk to me, then they can still, study by themselves. That would be a little better. At least they have something to do. So they won't be only focused on the loneliness. And also, there's pressure from, the marks, and also whether they have some talent. Oh, see, other people, they can sing so well, but when I sing, and they would say, oh no, that's scary. And so it's very sarcastic. And at that age, the kids, they don't know how to speak very gently, so they would just say whatever they want. And a lot of people like to call nicknames and
种种的压力哈。好了，这个说好不容易从 不管有没有上大学，好不容易
So
你现在已经过了
yeah,
21岁了，
okay, say finally
呢
you have
也就
already
从20岁开始，一直到
21,
30来岁这个期
yeah,
间，
like in your
其实家
20s,
长
between
还有你
20
的
to
人生当中最
30,
希望的完成的有3件大事，
your
那么第
parents
一件
actually
事
are
其实是婚姻
are
问题，
looking forward for
尤
you
其
to
是
complete
女
three
孩儿
things.
啊，
So
对家
first
长特
is
别着急。
your marriage,
我觉得
especially
这
for
个也是
girls.
需要
Parents are
非常
really
非常需要
anxious
考
about
虑的。
that. This
第一任务
definitely is something
啊，就
that
是
you
找对
really
象
need
找
to
婆家
consider.
啊，
So
因为
first,
她
to
女生嘛，因
find
为有
a
个
good
最佳
partner,
生育
a
期
good boyfriend,
啊，又
especially
是这个时候又漂亮又美，是吧？
you know,
她
the
最佳
girls
生育
are
期
the
也在这个
most
时候，所以
the
这个
the
时候就是
prettiest
择
at
偶
that
婚弄
time, and
这个
成立
婚姻
家庭
a good time for
生孩
them
子
to get
啊，
married and have
立家
children and to
如果
build
你
their
27
family.
岁
And if you're
啊，连男人面儿还没
27
正式见
and
过，
you haven't
就是以
even
恋爱的方式手都没摸
date
过一下，可能就
anyone,
慌了
you
啊！
might
我30
be
岁不知道有没有希望，
worried, and you
所以
don't
整天
even
一上
know
网
you can find
啊，
someone when
对
you're
不对？
30,
在
right?
网上咨询怎么能
And
找到
then
男朋
you
友
would
啊，都
probably
慌了。
Google how to find a
再接下来
boyfriend
呢，
online.
事
And
业，
就是事业，不管读的什么
next
学校吧，
is
做事
your
业，
career,
有些人其
whatever
实找工作挺不顺利的，
school you
哎，
have
你
been
看我们
to,
有学生
you know,
说
finding
师傅啊，快帮帮
a
忙嘛，我都
job
毕业
or
1
a
年了，我
business,
还没找
and
到一个
there's a
合
lot
我
of
心
people
思的
writing
工
to me
作。
say, "Oh,
可是
Grandmaster,
我学
help
的
me! I haven't
是
found a
网络工
satisfactory
作，
job. I
可是我
learned
现在就
about
在餐馆里帮
internet,
忙，
but I'm
就是找
actually
不到我的专
working
业
to
工
help
作，
in a
所以
restaurant. I
工资
can't
又低，收
find
入
a
又低，
good
工作
job.
又累，
The
是吧？
income is low
这
and
还
it's
是
very
事业。
tiring,
还有人总想下
and
海
some
拼一
people
把，
always
什么叫下
want
海呢？
to,
我们
you
中
know,
国人都
to
知
to
道哈，
to start their
就
own
是
business.
创业的，
创业经商，
对，
So
比如我自己干
yeah,
点啥，
so
创
they
业不
want
一
to
定
do
经
some
商哈，
business
但
of
是
their
总与
own.
经营有关系，要
To
创什么业
always
呢？
have something to do with managing their own business. So
对，要自力更生，
so they want
对吧？
to be
我自己卖
independent
馅儿饼，这也
and
是创
maybe
业。
sell
第一个会技
those
术
kind of
啊，
Chinese
第二个
pancake,
会
or
经营
so
啊，
they
你
need
要核
to
算
be
成本是吧？
very
哎，
good
有
at
些创业了，光
managing a
想还没敢干，
business. Some people
哎，
they are very
所
good
以
at
你看
thinking,
疑
but
惑吧。
they do not put
所以
into
很多年
action.
轻
And
人
so a lot
毕
of
业2、
young
3年
people
之后，
after
甚
they
至毕业
graduate
5
for
年了，
2,
就想着
3 years, or
师傅
even
能不
5
能
years,
创
they
业？
said, "Oh,
我还是继
Grandmaster,
续
can
就
I
业。
start a
是，
business,
那
or
你看，
should I just continue
一
to be an
边工作，
employer?"
一边打着工，一
And
边
so
说要不要我自己
at
当
the
老板啊？
while they're still an
哎，
employer,
你
they're
看这
always
又是一
thinking
件
about
事
whether
情。
they want to be an
还有就是在
they're an
就业之中
employee.
哈，
They always
在工
thinking
作
of how
中，
to become an
第一个
employer.
不适应，第二个他
And
总觉
so
得
first
不能发挥
when
自己的优势，还有第三个总觉得自己
they
是被人
think
欺
that
负的
as an
啊，
employee,
甚至
they
还觉得
think
老
that they
板在剥削
cannot
我
fully
啊，或者是
explore
不
their
公正
potential,
等
and they
等的，
think that they're
让自己不愉快的感
exploited,
觉。
and then they feel
所以 再找
like
更
not
好
very
的工
happy,
作来，你
and
说
they
那干
want
脆
to
我换
find
公司，
instead
明
of
天半
finding
天
a
谈
better
了天，还
job,
不如现
maybe
在这个坏老
uh,
板对我的更
might as
好，对
well
我的工资
just
至少更高，对不对？
yeah,
所以又不敢换，又舍不得换，
they
说不换吧，还挺受
they
气，自己觉得挺受气。
stay in
我
that
寄人篱下
company. They
啊，
feel
我做不好
very
一丁点儿他就骂我，我还费了这么多功夫，
very
凭什么骂
very
我？
bad
有
because
些
they
设计师，对不
always
对？
being
我
scolded,
花了
and
1个月
especially
才
the
把这个房子给
designers,
设
they
计
think,
出来，
oh, I
结
spent a
果
whole month to
你不通
design
还得
this.
挑毛
How
病，
and
在
then
门
you
口站矮
always
不就
pick
1.5
the
吗？有什么了不起的？
yeah, you
长
always
还
are
骂
very
我
picky
啊，
those, and
骂
they
我，
say,
你不知道我
oh
多辛苦
no,
吗？
you
啊，
don't
你还
know
骂
like
我，
how hard
还
I
总让
worked
我
on
改，
it, and
我
you're
容易吗？
still
我就不改。
scolding
看，社
about
会就有
it. And is it
压力来
easy?
了。
And so you feel a lot of
再这样，
pressure, and
我不设计了，
and you
是
might
不是？
even
我自
think,
己盖一栋自
no,
己
I
住
don't
啊，
want to design for you
等等，你
anymore.
看
I'll just
不愉
design
快。
one for myself.
先不说谁
And
对谁
so
错啊，
let's
工作
put
中遇到的障
whether
碍、
it's right
压
or
力、
wrong
打击
aside. You just
啊，
see
甚
all
至诽谤。
these, you know,
哎，我们还经常收到一些
scoldings and
网
pressures
友
and
朋友就是来
stress
信说，
and
师傅能教给我
setbacks.
们这个办公室的
And
斗争的方法。
somebody
哎，
asked
对
me
对对，
你看
how
我干了
to
活儿，结果让张三儿给捞
reduce
了
the
功劳去
fighting
了，
in the
结果
office. You
升
know,
职
I did a
和
lot
加
of
薪
work,
都给
but
他了，
that Mr.
是
Zhang
吧？实际上他的
took all the credit, and he got promoted and increased his salary, but actually I did the work, so that's wrong. And so see, these are the conflicts in the office, and he asked me to what to do. Well, you need to have the ability to rebel, otherwise, yeah, it's just like the peasants' insurrection. Are you able to fight against your leader? Otherwise, you might as well just think about survival. As long as there's human beings, then there will be fighting. And this fighting is actually inside your mind. Yeah, they don't think that they're fighting with you. You actually are fighting with yourself. So a lot of afflictions are actually inside your mind. So, and there's even more afflictions. You want to find a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then you found that, oh, it's so hard. It's just like two spies. Like you feel like how to fight with him or her. And how come after an hour I haven't heard from you? Where have you been? And maybe you have a small fight every, I don't know, 3 days, and a big fight every 7 days, and it's like, oh my gosh, what a struggle. And next, especially when you're in love, if the girl is very beautiful and you have the opportunity to know this girl, and then you start to, start to date, and then you see whether in the future you have that fortune. And when you're waiting under, at the building for the girl, and then you see you took a taxi there, but somebody is driving a luxurious car to come and pick and coming to pick up the girl, and then you are just holding a dandelion, waiting to offer to the girl, but the other man has such a luxurious car, and after he opened the trunk, there's like, 999 roses. And, oh my gosh. And you think, oh my gosh, this girl is so greedy. Why do you go to that luxurious car? You don't, you really are too greedy for the money. And so then you think that, oh no, you'll be very angry. And these girls are really disgusting. Yeah. Okay, you can just marry money. Why don't you just marry money? And so you want to get more money. And so you think, no, I'm going to quit my job, and I will borrow money, and I will open a restaurant or a business. And, well, maybe you will lose money though. Maybe you have opened a business for selling clothes and shoes. You have purchased a lot of you got a lot of supplies and purchased a lot of clothes, but you haven't been able to sell any. And maybe you borrowed a lot of money from your relatives and friends, and then you spend all the money for rent and purchasing those clothes and shoes. And so a lot of people coming to try them, but you haven't been able to sell anything. And so would a girl coming to marry you just because they have pity on you? No. The more failure you have, the girl will be away. And so a lot of times they only like the people who succeed. And so, well, it's the same. Why do you love beautiful girls? Yeah, maybe there's a girl who's not very beautiful, who has already watching you for a long time. Why don't you ask love from her? And actually, she actually did a lot of housework and helped your mother, and you are still looking to pursue or go after another beautiful girl. So anyways, or maybe your father passed away, and then you lose money in the business, and so maybe your father passed away because you lost so much money, and then there will be even more trouble. The mother would say, oh, before we had some money that we could, survive our senior years, but now you took all of our money. And then after the father passed away, the son think, oh, I definitely need to make a lot of money, and then I will even find marry a very beautiful girl and I will buy a beautiful house and cars, and then maybe you can achieve that goal and maybe not.
你看咱们这个20岁到30岁这
And
个
see,
期间，
between 20 years old to 30 years old, these are all these important things that you need to do. It's so hard. So that's why everybody asks guidance from you, Grandmaster.
人生的小船呐，你驶得平
Oh,
稳一点
this little boat
哎
of
想想都怕
life.
啊
How much we
所以我们
want
就
it
要
to
开始
go
这些年轻人的
smoothly.
问题了。
Safe
对
sailing.
所以我们也想给年轻人帮些忙，
And
但是我们也没办
yeah,
法是
well,
说
Grandmaster says
绝对
we
能帮到
do
你哈。
wish
咱
to
们看
help the
看
young
我们今
people,
天
but
网
I'm
友带来的
not
问题
sure whether
啊
I can.
第一位
Well, let's
来
try.
自于马来西亚的
So
年
the
轻人呢，他
first
是关于事业
young
上的问
man
题的。
from
师傅您
Malaysia,
好，我
he
是
has
来
a
自马来西
question
亚的曾透，
about
今年22
his
岁。
career.
那
So
2年
he
前呢，
said,
师傅给
I'm
我
from
指
Malaysia,
点，
I'm Seng
读
To, I'm
大学
22
呢读
years
的
old.
是营
2
销
years
管理的
ago,
科目。我将在
Grandmaster,
今年10
you
月份就
actually
大学毕
guided
业了。
me to do
也感恩
marketing
师傅的
or
指点，
business
我也很喜
administration, and
欢，
I'm
也
going
很
to
适合
graduate
营销
this
管理这
October.
个
Thank
科
you
目。
so much, Grandmaster, for your
那
guidance.
我
I
一直以
really
来呢有一
love
个梦
and
想，
I think
就
I'm
是在
very
未来
suitable
有
for
自己
this
的
business
生意，
administration.
做一个能
And
造福大众的企业家。
I had always had
在
a
今
dream
年
that I will
10
have
月
my
份毕
own
业以
business
后
so
呢
that I
我
can
会有
be an
3个方
entrepreneur
向。
to
第一，
help
到
the
营销
public.
管理的公
So
司
after
好好
graduation in
学习
October, I
锻
have
炼，
3
未来才能更
directions.
全面
First,
的
I will
达
go
成自己
to
的
a
理想。
marketing company
第二，
to learn
直接
and
出来
get
创业，
trained
积
so
累
that in
经
the
验，
future
并
I
历练
can
自己。
fully
第
develop
三，
and reach my
到
goal.
爸爸
And
小
second
规模的
is
家具
to
公司学习，并
directly
在未
come out
来
and
帮
start my
爸爸
own
把
business
公
right
司
away.
壮
And
大。
the third is
那
to
现
go to
在
my
呢，
father's
弟子想再次请教师
furniture
傅
company
来
to
指
learn
点
and in
我
the
毕
future
业
to
后的方
expand
向，
his business.
哪一个
So
会更适合
Grandmaster,
我？
could you
那
please guide
他也
me
附上
which
了照
direction
片，也
is
请师
better
傅来
and
参
more
考。
suitable?
感恩师傅。
And he also has this picture
你看，
here.
其实他很聪明，
Actually, you can see
他
that
已经
he's
想到了有
very
3条路进行
intelligent. He
选
has
择
already
啊，就
thought
说明
of
很
the
聪
three
明。
directions.
上
Of
过我们
course,
的
he's
青年
very
营嘛。
smart.
人家
And
自
well,
己
he
也
has
比较
been
聪
to
明。
our Bodhi
对，
Meditation
其实
youth
我也
camp
很
before,
为
and
难的给
Grandmaster
你
guided
回
him
答
to
哈，
choose the
所以我
major
只
in the
能用
university.
我
And so
的
Grandmaster
综
says
合的人
it's very
生
hard
经
for
验
me
来
to
看看
actually
看你的
answer
未
your
来的去
question,
向。
but I can just try with
那我
my
直白的说
life
嘛，
experience to
对，
guide
因为
you.
我一拐弯儿，你肯定就晕了，到底
Yeah.
选啥？
对，
I have
师
to
傅
be
还是
very
直白
frank
的说，这样
because
才最有
otherwise,
帮
if
助
I
吧。
如果直白的说，你又学的是
otherwise
等于
you
是
would be
营销
confused
管理
again.
类嘛。
Yeah, because you
哎，比
learn
如说你们家
about
又有一个家族
marketing and
小
business
企业哈，
administration,
家具
and
公司之类
your
的哈，
father also has a
你也
furniture
你肯
company.
定也想说，
Definitely,
让
you
我们家
want
的这个公
to
司做得更好。
对，
develop your
或者
own
你创
family
业，我也不
business.
知道你想
And
创
I
哪
don't
类
know
的
if you
事
want to
业，
start a
但
business,
是
what
特
kind
别
of business
适
you
合于
want
你
to
进
do.
行类似于
And
创业的话，就是你们家自己
well,
的生意。
actually, the most suitable
就是但
business
是
that you should do is
我的
actually
建议
your
是，
family business. But
那
my
么3、5
suggestion
年
is
之
that
后，你再回到自
after
己家来做。
3 or 5
现在
years,
毕业之后，
you
最
can
好
come
找
back in
与
your
营
family
销
business.
管理
Right
相关的机
after
构，去到人家
graduation,
那
I
里去
think the
当学
best
徒
way
去。
is to go
这个时候
and
你只
learn
有
in a
你有
marketing
你的人生
company.
更高的一个目的哈，
You have
请
a
不要在乎工资。
higher goal
就是为了学
in
习。
your life,
没
so
错了。
then
对，
don't
你
care
是学
about
习
your
去的，
salary
成
when
对，
you're
给钱就
going
干，
there to learn, as
好吧？
long as they
对，不
pay
计较
you
给多少钱
something.
哎，
啊，因为你是学
So
艺
you
术
should not care
你到稍
about
微大一点的公司，
the salary. You go
学了
to
东
a
西，
bigger
不一
company
定
to
人家
learn
比如说
something.
经营的是金融或者是其
Maybe
他
they're
的
doing
什么东西
finance
哈，
or
和
some
你们家
other
经营的
business.
这个
It's
家具肯定
different
不是一
from
回事儿。
your
但
own
是
family
呢，
business
有
as
相似
furniture,
之
but
处。
there
是，
there will
你就
definitely
总结
be
了那
some
个经验。
similarities, and then
你
you
如果
would
没有经
gather
验，仅仅从大学
experience.
学那点
Yeah,
东西去
if
之
you
后
don't
哈，
have
我
life,
提
you
醒
know,
大家，
real
从大学学
experience
的东
from
西去
from
直接工
life,
作，
from business,
你就
and
等于
just
一个
have
零，
the
一
studies
张
in the
白纸，啥都不
university.
会。
And if you
你
go
去了就知道。
directly to work, then
哎，
you actually
那
don't
我
know
认识
anything. I know very big entrepreneur. Maybe he has already had like dozens of billions of dollars. And when he was a young man, he was just a farmer, and he started his business when he was very young. And after he already got like billions of dollars, when that was in like 2000, he always say that his children and other social groups say, "Oh, see, you've already had such a big success success and your products are sold to 24 countries and you need to hire someone like a Westerner to come and manage. You have a lot of money, so you can afford to hire someone to do it. And so he did, and he paid a very high salary, and including a lot of insurance and also house and cars and everything. After he hired someone who graduated from a prestigious university, but after 2 years, his company lost like 2 billion. 2 billion. So with that management, but he knows that this is wrong, but he already signed the contract with him. And then that person did even more, and so his company was almost going to fail. And so, but that person says, like, if you hire me, then you need to give me all the authority. And yeah, so and he requires that even with his with this CEO's instruction, he even need to listen to him, and because it's already in the agreement, so he had to do that. But after 2 years, it's just too dangerous, and he had to dismiss that person. He had to fire him. Yeah, that young man who graduated from a prestigious university, maybe he knows a lot of knowledge only from the university. It's just like when we learn the arts of war, Sun Tzu actually said, this is just an inspiration for you to do. This is in the book. However, how to decide what to do, because the time and space and environment and relationship and weather and the people you use and your age and your fortune and your feeling and your health and all of these needs to be your reference for whether you can use this strategy. If you just very rigidly use this strategy, then you would definitely fail. Yeah, if you cannot defeat your enemy, then you would have to die. And in the business, it's very similar. It's the same. Yeah. When you're doing investment, if you did a wrong investment, then your products won't be able to sell, and then after several years, then all these products that has been in stock will eventually become waste. And so usually to build a business is not easy, but to ruin a business, maybe it would only be like months. Yeah. So now he understood that this entrepreneur, he knows that actually this young man is actually not very experienced. He studied in America and he was born in America. He doesn't know anything about Chinese culture, and of course he. So Joy said it's probably better to find someone who actually started with him to build that business, and so he knows everything about the culture and also his own company and the business. And like 1700 years ago, ancient China, so 诸葛亮, yeah. According to the 3 romance of the 3 kingdoms and Zhuge Liang, when they were trying to fight the Yi minority, and Yi minority, they're very good at fighting, and then they would put poison in the water, and then they would put also poison in the air, so it's very hard to fight with them, and you couldn't even find them, and therefore they used many different ways, and eventually they were able to catch the leader of that tribe. But were they able to manage them? No. So he just, he said, no, we don't want to defeat you. He said, we just want to negotiate with you. And he actually, so actually those E minority, they receive more money, and then there are still those E people who are managing that E tribe. And so how did they manage? They used the local people to manage them. And so they would just use the local people to manage them. They're not going to kill them. He was very smart. He didn't kill those people, and so he used local people just to manage them. And he said, okay. He said, well, with they have a title as the leader of them, but actually he's still using the local people and with their own rules to manage them. So it's very effective and successful. And so this question, Zheng Tou's question, so Grandmaster said, Zheng Tou, I suggest that you can go to a company that, to learn. You always have an attitude to learn, and then you can decide whether you do a business of your own or you work in your father's company. I think that's much better. And I believe that you're very smart. However, you would be very contented when you just have a little bit of money, a little bit of success. When I look at you, you won't have a huge success, but at least will be better than a normal working class. So don't do too big investments. So because whenever you invest, then it's not your own money, right? So just use your own body to learn, but do not use money to make investment. Maybe this is a very conservative suggestion. Maybe you're not satisfied, but Joy said, no, this is a very wise suggestion. You don't need to put too much money there, but you can help your father to make more money, though. Don't always invest and put money, into an investment. Okay, I'll give you a present. I hope that in the future you will be, you achieve more, you have bigger achievement, and get better and better. I'll give you a shirt. You are very handsome. Wow. So this treasure tree T-shirt. After you wear it, you'll be even more handsome. Wish you success in your business. Everything will be successful and auspicious. Receive. Thank you, Grandmaster. Next, let's look at a couple who asked for their relationship. So, so the young man and the young girl is in, in a different city, and then so this love, should they continue? So he's Xiao Huang from Malaysia. He's 24 years old, and he wanted to ask about his marriage. He said, I've been dating my girlfriend for 4 years. We are university classmates, and we've been meeting for 2 years. And then because of the pandemic, we both went back to our own city to take online classes. And so we've been in love for 2 years when we're having this distance love for 2 years, and then now we're all graduated. His parents asked him to go back to his parents, and so even 1 year ago, he wanted to. So her parents actually wanted her to go back to her parents, and so they don't want us to be together. And even though she wanted to come to my city to develop, but she cannot disobey her parents. And I'm also very frustrated because I want to look after my mom, and I also think about my future development, and so I cannot go to her city. So, Grandmaster, should we continue this love? Even though I love her and I want to last, but because of this current situation, now the relationship is quite stuck. So what should I do? So this is Xiao Huang's question. So they're in two different cities, and now both of them have already found job in their own city, and so now they need to make a choice. So one of them will need to make a sacrifice and work in their lover's city. So okay, Grandmaster says, well, this is quite difficult, right? I think that you two are not very suitable to get married. If you love each other so much, then definitely you will elope. If you do not, run off, then it means that your love is not so much. It hasn't reached that extent. Yeah, so this is the truth. I think that you both have a lot of consideration. So first of all, you cannot let go your familiar environment, and so you cannot leave your city. And also because of your parents, right? And therefore, let's analyze the relationship. This romantic relationship, it's not like always writing poems. Oh, moon. Oh, like, yeah. So whatever you're happy or not, then you just use moon to express your love. But however, the love and this relationship eventually should come to a marriage. Yeah. Yeah, so eventually you need to meet each other, right? You cannot just look at the moon. Yeah. Marriage, dating is for get married. At least you need to be able to date each other. You need to hold hands together. If you cannot even hold hands, you see, oh, those high-tech young man and girl, and then they just use high-tech that they can feel like they are touching each other. No, that's just nonsense. Oh, Christine, that actually, you said that. A lot of times when classmates, university classmates, they graduate, it's actually at the exact time when they break up. Because when they are both in the university, they both feel lonely. So so you're just trying to find a companion. It's almost like you're finding a warmer. Yeah, you may find, but when you need to go home, can you bring the warmer home? You will just go back to your own home. But when the love is so much to that extent, then one of you will sacrifice and go with either the man will go with the lady, or the girl will go with the man. And so when the love is so much to that extent, then that's really true love, and that's like pure gold love, like 200%. It's not 99%. So this is, yeah, this is real love. This can be called love. So when you ask me, I think, well, I don't think you have that true love. If you don't have that much love, then, well, there's plenty of fish in the ocean. So in your city will definitely be a lot of girls. You shouldn't waste her time. And yeah, if you're only, video call, I miss you, and that's no use. When you're dating and you're in love, then it's for marriage. And yeah. You need to end up with that marriage. And so when you want to get married, you need to be together. It's not like just just sighing in front of the moon. Yeah, so Okay?
明白了吧？
Understand?
开悟的早
Joy said. Okay.
对，就是。
Right. Okay.
对，没到那个情谊之
So
处，
if your love
凡是远
hasn't
距离
reached
恋
that
爱的哈，
extent,
离开
those
你同一个
distant
城市的
love,
恋爱，
you're in
几乎
different
都是
cities.
浪费时间，
Most
都
of the
是无
time,
可
it's just
都有点
wasting
病
time.
啊
赶紧就是面
Yeah.
对现实，各自
You
去
need
找自
to
己的方法。
face the reality and
还要
find
适合
your
你
true
口
love.
味的草，
And you need
是
to
不是啊？
find
那
the
个牛
one
也好，猪
who
也好，它
suits
也
you.
不是什么草都吃的呀，
Yeah.
对不对？
It's
就
not
普通
like
很多
whatever
草可
kind
能你都
of
不吃的，
food you would
对
choose,
它是一棵
whatever
好
kind of
草
person
啊
you would
对不对？人家
choose.
专门吃垂盆草，哎，对，所以有些草不符合你的口味，
So
所
they're
以你
just
找对象
joking.
一定要找对着你的味
So
儿的
when
那
you
个，好吧？
find a partner,
找
you
对
really
象不
need
是
to
临
find
时止渴
someone
那个
who
矿
really
泉水，
suits you.
千万记住。
So
啊
this is
找
not
对象
like
你就是
when
为
you're
了
thirsty,
跟
you're
人过
just
一辈子
quenching your
的，
thirst and
好
just
吧？
go find
你
a
说
mineral
哦，临时
water.
为了寂寞
So
找
you
了一
think,
个，
oh,
这个就显得
temporarily
不
you're
太那么
lonely, then you just find
合适
somebody to
啊。
date.
我
No,
我
that's
并不
not
赞
very
成这种
appropriate. I don't really
别找对
support
象
this
到的
kind
时
of
候，这个人我
relationship.
能和他结
Yeah,
婚，
if you
往
go
这个方向
find
找
a
比较好。
boyfriend or girlfriend, then you're actually
感现
finding
实些。
someone
那
that
不就叫
you
玩
are
耍，
aiming
是玩弄
at
感
getting
情，是吧？
get
就显得不
married.
好。
Because otherwise, it's just play,
好了，感恩师
right?
傅。
It's
这
not
算是个答
very
案吗？
good.
非常
Is that an
好。
answer?
这
不是我这
个
么一说，
双方家
And
长
so-
听了都很高
我这
兴。
么一说，我觉得我忏悔
Absolutely.
哈，马来小黄，我
Oh,
把你得
and
罪
then
了
so
哈。
Grandma said,
Yeah.
"Oh, sorry,
小黄
Xiao
从此
Huang.
就长
Maybe,
大了，就直接说了，
yeah, sorry
那
for
不
that."
然太幼稚。
But
对，所以
Joy
我
said,
就
because
告诉你，我很
otherwise
客气
he's
地告
too
诉你，你
naive.
真的胡扯，你是，
对，
对不对？你有真有那个本事
Yeah.
跟人去走，
If
是吧？没那
if
个
you
本事要
really
弄我
love
的时
her,
候，你
then
们
go
那个
to
感
her
情没到
city.
那个
If
程
that
度，
love is
啊，
hasn't reached that extent, then
嗯，
well, then
好，
no.
我也不说了，
Okay, well that's it.
我都着急。啊，这个还给礼物呢。
Oh,
衣服
you still
就
give
告诉你
him
天涯何处都有芳草，
a shirt? Okay, I'll give you this shirt and I
月亮
tell
照
you
到的地方就有芳草，
there's
好吧？
plenty of fish in the ocean. Okay, wherever there's moon, there is fish.
好
Okay,
感恩师
and
傅。
go find your true love to get married.
好，那下一个呢是学业问
Okay,
题了。
next
哦
is
我
a
们
question
众多学子的这个
about
烦恼。
studies.
这么大跨度，
Oh,
嗯。
young people
对，
have
嗯。
all
烦
kinds
恼
of
多。
questions,
师
lots
傅
of
好，我叫
afflictions.
来
So,
自于新加坡。
hello,
我
Grandmaster.
今
My
年
name is
17岁，
Qiying from
读高中
Singapore. I'm
1年级。
17 years
我很
old
困扰，
and in
因为
grade
有好多
10.
科目
I'm
现在都
very
不及格，
frustrated
连我
because
最强的
I
数
didn't
学
pass
也不
most
及
of
格
the
了。
subject, even
我现在
my
读的
strong
科
at
目呢
math.
是英文、
So
中
I'm
文、数
learning
学、经济
English,
学、
Chinese, math,
生物学还有
economy,
化学。
biology, and
这些
chemistry.
课中啊，只有英文
And
和
I
化
only
学及
passed
格。
English and
我好
chemistry.
担心呢，
I'm
因为可
so
能要留
worried.
级。
Maybe I have to
我
repeat
现
the
在已
grade.
经开始在补习
I'm
英文、
already
数学和生物学了。
finding
我感到
tutors for
很
my
有压力，
English,
也
math,
感
and
到很迷
biology.
茫，
I
对自
feel a
己
lot
的
of
能力没
pressure
有
and
信
very
心。
confused. I
师
don't
傅，
have
我每
confidence
个
for
星期呢
myself.
休3到5天
Grandmaster,
的小礼
every
拜，
week
每
I
一
will
次
do
呢
3 to
20 分
5
钟到
days
30分
of
钟。那祈
have
请师傅指
frustration
导
for
我
20 to
怎样
30
才能
minutes.
学业进步。
So,
感恩师
Grandmaster,
傅。
could you guide me how to
他努
improve?
力了没有
Thank you,
啊？
Grandmaster. Did you work
不知道。
hard?
说
Well,
实
we
在
don't
的，
know.
对，
他貌似努力了啊。
Well,
因为你这一封
it
信
looked like
并没
that
有代
he
表
worked
你，
hard.
那
Well,
你
your
有没有是
letter
花了
didn't
很多时
show
间？比
how
如一天
much
花了4
you
个小时打游戏呀，
whether you
哦，
study
或者花
hard,
了很
maybe
多的
you
时间
spend 4
干了一件不
hours
是
playing
读书的
games,
事
or
情，
maybe you
对，
spend a
对
lot
吧？
of time
但貌似
that
是一
is
个
not
好孩
study.
子，
You look
还
like a
做你看我还
good
做礼拜了，
对，
boy,
对吧？
and you
而
say,
且也
"Oh,
有
I
补
did
习。
prostration,"
对，
and you
但
are
是都不知道
also
真
having
正的付
tutors
出
to
跟投
study
入哈。
to catch
我
up.
觉得
But
是
whether you have
就是
put
那
a
个
lot of
问题，这
efforts,
个
I
孩
don't. We
子
don't
他
know.
的理想不
And so
清楚，
Grandmaster says, "Oh,
对
well, I
没有
think
一
that
个
this
清晰的
young
一个
man,
努力的
his
目标。
goal is
说，比
not
如说我
very
将来就
clear.
当医生啊，
Say, for
他没有
example,
一个目
oh, I
标
want
的
to
时
be a
候呢，
doctor. When you
其
don't
实
have a
就是
goal,
人在王朝心在汉，
and then it's
就像
like,
个假
oh,
人在这里。你
you
看我
you're
在读
like
书，
you're here,
我
but
还
your
在复
mind
习，
is
我
somewhere
还在
else.
礼拜，
You are
我还在
doing
请那个家
prostration,
教，
you are
是吧？
studying, and
我
you
还做
have
着课堂。
tutors, and you
但
are
是
in
事
the
事实上来
classroom,
说
but
没
actually
有这样的一种叫做发
you
心，说我
actually
一定要
do
努力学习，
not
我要达到什么
have
什么目标。
that determination to study hard and reach that goal because you don't have the goal, so your heart is distracted. Maybe your mind is
你就
everywhere,
没有一个好成绩。
and that's why you don't
还
have
有一
a
个
good
我不知道，
mark.
因为也在猜想，因为他高中1年级
And
哈
Joy said,
就
I'm
是
guessing because
从
he's
小
in
学到
grade
初中
10,
初中到
maybe
高中
from elementary
或
school
者
to
是高中
junior
到大
high
学，因为
and
每
then to
跨
high
一个这个
school.
台阶的时候，进入
When
到一个
he
新
stepped
环境的时
into
候呢，
a
确实
higher
有一部分学生
school,
哈
there are some students who actually cannot adjust to the new school and the new. Maybe he's still trying to adjust. And
如果这个期间你到
well,
高中
during this
哈，
time,
你正
if
好
you're
这个期
already
间到
in
高中我就
senior
把那
high
个学好，
school,
这肯定你有个适应
if
期。
you have changed the school, maybe you
因为这个环境对一
need
个
to
人哈，
adjust because
对成年人影
environment,
响一样是
even
大
for
的。
adults,
陌生感
will
会
have
带
a
来
lot
很多
of
紧张。
对，
啊，
比如老师
yeah,
对，
a
还有
lot of
老师的
influence.
教学方式，
And
没错
also
还有
the
老师
way
对你
they
的感觉。
teach the teachers
比如
and
说
the feeling
在初
of the
中的时候，
teacher. Say, for example, in the junior high
你遇到老
school,
师呢，
you
是比较
your
理解你的，
teacher maybe
或者比较
understands you
喜欢你欣
and
赏你，
maybe
对，
appreciate
经
you,
常会给你微
like
笑
you,
和赞美
and
你两句
always
哈，
smile at you
那
and
你会觉
praise
得
you,
哎
and maybe
比较
you would
如鱼
feel,
得水，很幸
wow,
福。
you feel very
别人你到了
happy
高
and
中，
contented. But
第一
in
个
your
就
senior
换了老
high,
师，
you
他不了
changed
解
a,
你，
a
还有
teacher,
老师
and
的
the
个性
teacher
和表达
maybe
方
don't
式，
understand you,
他
and
并
maybe
没
they
有
have
像
a
前面老
different
师那样的
personality. Maybe
啊
this
对你
teacher is
那么
not
温
as
和，
gentle
所
as
以
the
的话
previous
都是
teacher.
需要你
So
去重
all
新
of
适应
these
它。但是
needs
你要记住，
you to
这个
adjust.
老师永远
But
都是外在
remember
的，他
that
不管什么样的
teachers
个性，
are
他无
the
论是对你什么样的态度，
external
那你
factors.
就是他的学
Whatever
生。
attitude he
每一
has
个
or
老
she
师
has,
都是希望他
you
的学
need
生
to
成绩优
uh,
秀。
对，
所以
yeah,
老师的
it's
个
up to
性
you.
你
Every
不要去
teacher
管
wants you to
啊，因为他是希望你
to
是
do
优秀
well.
的，所以你要去
Don't
努力。
care about their
大家不要看老
personalities.
师
You
的
just
脸
work
色，
hard. Don't
看
always
老师
look
脸色
at
的都是
the
错误的，
teacher's
你的悟
expressions
性
because that's
就是你
wrong.
的聪明没用到点儿上。
Yeah, so your
那我也有徒弟，
intelligence hasn't
有的
been
徒
put
弟一直在
into the
揣
right
摩着我
place.
师傅现在要干啥，是快乐呢，还是
Yeah.
烦恼呢？你还是
So,
喜欢我呢？你还是想
if you're
贬低我呢？
always
就揣摩我
thinking,
的，
oh,
都在我这儿活不长，
yeah,
就是走不下去
anybody
了。
who always
活不长，不
try
是你
to
立
see,
刻死
oh, whether you like me
那
or
你的
not,
脑子用错地方，
then you won't be
揣摩
able
上
to
司的
do
都会
well. If you always try to
那你
judge
知道你在干嘛
your
你要
teacher or
人
your
完成
you know
你的目
instructor,
标，对吧？你在
then
学习呀，
you won't be able to
啊，
do
你现在
well.
把
You're
你的
now
文化课的
studying.
知识
You
分数也学好，
yeah, you just need to
啊，你
do
集中精力做这件事情。
focus on the
所以我
study,
们这位
and
提
therefore
验
提
提音啊，
提音
提音小
Okay.
朋友呢，
So
就是我
提音
觉得你这个，因为我看到你的照片了哈，
When I look
你
at
是
your
个
picture,
聪
I
明的孩
think you're
子，
very smart.
将来还是能做一
And in
番
the
事
future,
业。
you'll be able to do
哎，
something
你呢
great.
就浪荡下去，把你废了拉倒。
Yeah, but you're
你又
just
不想成为
wasting your
废人，
time. If you don't want
你
to waste
从现在
yourself,
开
your
始
life,
一定要设定
then
一个
from
理
now
想，
on, you
的
definitely
成
need
绩
to have
迅速就
a
上来
goal,
了。
and then your
对，
marks
你
will
会超过你很
immediately
多同学的。
increase,
啊
and you'll be able
赶快还
to
不好好努力。
exceed a lot of
太
your
好了，
对
classmates.
悬崖勒
So
马，
yeah,
然后迎头
so
赶起。
start right
是
now to
对
study hard.
他
Yeah,
如
and
果是
catch up.
聪明的，而且也上过我们的青
If
年营，
he
也知道
has
师傅这
already,
教导的
he's
方
very
法哈。
smart
我
and he
猜
has
想
been
他
to
可能是这
our
个过渡的期
youth
间还没
camp.
有完全适
Maybe
应好。
um,
真的，其实要
it's
按
just
师傅这样说，他以后还
he
会有
hasn't
一
been
番大事
adjusting
业的话，
himself well.
他考
If
学、升学什
Master
么
has
都没问
already
题。
confirmed
虽然
that he
新加
would
坡那
be
个
able
竞
to
争
do
很激
great,
烈
even
哈，
though in
他
Singapore
肯定
lots
都
of
没
there are
有问
lots of
题的，
competitions,
一
but
定都考
there
上
won't。be any
他
problem for
还是
you.
比较不错的，这孩子。
就是只
Yeah,
要
so
专
this
心
is
在
a
自己
pretty
真的
good
有
young
兴
man.
趣的这些领域里面，这些
Yeah,
孩子都
if
会非
you
常
are
的提升
yeah,
自己。
if you
对，
are
啊，
doing
我是发现
something
我们
that
的
you have
跟我
passion,
学
you'll
过的小
definitely
朋
do
友
well.
哈，
And
他一
Grandmaster
旦
said I
他这个
found a
人
lot
生
of
目
young
标
men
有
who
了一个
learned
大约的
from me
方向之
before.
后哈，
Once they
他的
start
成
to
绩不
have
用
a
管，突
life
飞猛
goal,
进，
then
老
you
师都
don't
感觉
even
到惊
need
讶，
to
就是
care
这样。
about
但
their
是最怕的是他
school
颓废型的，就
results.
是没
They
有
they
自
will
己的一个
just do
想法，
so well.
没有理想，
The worst thing
多
is that
聪
they
明都
don't
不行，
have a
还会
goal.
废掉。
Even if they're
你知道
very
今天
smart,
走在
then
街
they're
上
wasting
玩
their
花
time.
玩鸟的
You know, those
啊，这
people who
个
are
吊儿
always
郎当的，
playing
甚
with
至
the
关进监狱的，
flowers or
其实聪明
birds
人
or
很
even
多，
put into prison.
知道吗？
Prison. There are
就是
also
他
lots
天
of
生的
very
智商
smart
是高
people.
的，
They
就是
have
因为
very
没有一个
high
明确的人生
IQ,
目标，
but because
或
they
者
don't
是
have
错
a
误的人
life
生目
goal,
标
or
把自
maybe
己
a
给废了。
wrong life goal,
所以
so
这个
they
人生等
wasted
于
their life.
虚度一场。
So, yeah.
我也想提醒一下，就是
And Joy
提呢
said, I
可能
like
就
to
走在这
remind
个
T,
阶段哈，
maybe
可能会
he's
有
at
点
this
受挫
stage
折，
that
或者是
he
迷
probably
茫，
had
说我真
some
的是笨吗？
setback
我真
and
的成绩
he's
上
a
不去
little
吗？
bit
不是的，我们
confused.
很多
Really,
学
you
生啊都
cannot
经
catch
历
up?
过
No.
这样的
Actually, a lot of
新老
students
师
has
新环境或者
experienced
是什
that
么
in
什
the
么的情况
well,
啊
with the
你
new
走过去
teacher,
了，你
new
迈过来了，
environment.
你仍然是
Once
好
you
的，是
pass
优秀
this,
的。
then
你
you're
要记着师
still
傅跟
very
你说的
good.
话，
Remember
你以
what
后你一定
Grandmaster
会做一番
told you.
大事
In
业
the
的。
future,
你
you'll be
为了
able to
实现这
achieve
个目
great.
标，
And in
你就
order
是最
to
棒的。
reach that goal, you're always the best. And so if you cannot be accepted into university, then nobody will be able to accept you at university. Whatever master said, it's definitely right. Yeah. So Grandmaster says, I'd like to tell you and also other young people, I always say your future is in your hands. So always have that confidence. Yeah. If you can create your future, how happy you will be, right? You'll feel a big accomplishment, right? Okay, work hard. I'll give you a present. Wow, blessing. So I'll give you this treasure tree T-shirt. So when you're studying, you can wear this T-shirt. Then your wisdom will be awakened. Wow, received. Thank you. Wish you have a lot of wisdom. Everything will be smooth and successful. Thank you, Grandmaster.
接下来呢是来自于澳洲的小团。
So next sharing is from Xiao Tuan from Australia. That's also for her studies.
我在
And he
2020年
says,
1月来到
Hello,
澳大利亚
Grandmaster. I'm
留学，
Xiao
一
Tuan,
直到
18
现
years
在。
old.
我现在
I
上高
become
二，还有1年半高考，非
actually
常焦
January
虑，总感
2020, I
觉
came
无
to
法考
study
上
in
最好的
Australia,
喜
and
欢的
now
大
I'm in
学。
grade 11.
我现在
And
的
there's
成
a
绩
year and
并
a
不
half
理想，
until the entrance
大部分成
examination
绩
to
都在
university.
70分左
I'm
右，
very
有一些
anxious.
科目
I
甚
think
至
I
更
cannot
低。
be accepted
现在学习非
get
常
into
努
my
力了，
satisfactory
每天都
university.
会花很长
And
时间在学
my,
习上面，
my
但
grades
是
are
总感
about
觉无法
70.
专心，
And
很容易就会想到别的事情，
I actually
这
work
导
very
致我的
hard,
学习
but
效率
I
很低，
spend a lot of
成绩
time
不
on
理
study.
想。
However, I cannot
我有几
focus.
个问题
And
想
that's
请
why,
教师傅。
it's not very
一，
efficient
如何
and
使
the
学习有
marks are
效
very
率，
low.
提高我的
And
学
so I
习
have some
成绩？
questions. How to
二，请
make
师
my
傅给
study
我
more
的择
efficient
业
and
提一些
increase
建
my
议。
grades?
三，
And
我想留在澳洲，也
Grandmaster,
请
could
师
you
傅
also
给
give me
我一
some
些建议好
suggestions
吗？
for my
感
future
恩师傅。
career? And I also want to
这是
stay
个
in
高中生。
Australia. Could
他的来
you
信中我们知
give
道
me
他
some
还年轻
suggestions?
哈，
Thank you,
17、18岁
Grandmaster.
哈。
对，
So
那么
he's
他呢
only
是到
18
澳
years
洲
old, and
留
he
学。
他
went
是
to
20年
study
到的吧？
in
到现在是22
Australia.
年。
嗯，
So
就
he
就
went there
算
in
1年多到2
2020.
年
Now
这个
it's
期间哈，
2022,
你
so
知道
it's
这个
already
时候
1 or
又
2
是一个
years.
适应了这个外国新环境。
So
他就
you're
要
now
跨度非常
adjusting
如果你在
to
上海，你现在你到了澳洲
another country,
啊，无论在哪个
right?
城
A
市，
new
整个
environment,
环境和语言都变
whatever
了，对不
city
对？
it is. So the
你想别说你
environment,
了，
the
所有的
language is
人都有压
different.
力啊。
Everybody will
啊，
feel the
光一个
pressure.
语言环境
Just
压
the
力就来了，对不
language
对？
is
对。
already
还有
putting a lot
外
of
国
pressure
老
on
师的教
you.
学的
And
方式
also
啊，还有在
Australian
那边朋
teachers,
友
how
少。
they teach,
对，
and
而且
also
可
do you
能
have
父母都不
friends
在
there?
身边，
And
都要
also
靠
maybe
他
your
自己
parents
生
are
活
not
啊
with you,
学
and
习。
so
所以的
everything
话，
you
这
have
些
to be
综合的这
independent.
个
So
这
all
这
of
个陌
these
生的环境
together,
带给
this
你的压力
very
可是大的。
the new
所以你能
environment
保
will
持一
bring you
个
a
中
lot
不溜
of
的分儿已
stress
经
and
不错
pressure.
了。
If
我
you
相信
can
已经很
keep
努力了
a
哈。
median
但是我
grade,
呢
it's
建议你
already
呢，
pretty
可
good.
以
I'm
不
sure
打
you
算说
have
我
worked
今年我
very
必须考
hard.
上哪一个大
Yeah,
学。
so
我建
I
议你呢，
suggest
哪
that
怕
don't
多读1
be
年哈，
determined that
让
you
自己
have
分
to
数
go
更
to
扎实，
such
而
university.
且升
Maybe
到
you
一
can
个不
study
错的
one
大
more
学。
year,
要
repeat
这
a
样看。
grade,
师
and
傅，您
so
是
that
建
you
议他
can
哪怕甚至在高
actually
中多读
have
1
a
年，
more
把基
solid
础打得更好以
foundation. So
后，
Grandmaster,
再去
you
报考
said
大
you
学。
这是我
want
的建
you
议。
suggest
太
him
好
to
了。
这样你那
actually
个成绩才
establish
给扎
a
实了。
more
首
solid
先你先适应他
foundation
的
so
语
that
言环境，
yeah.
嗯，
So
对不
Grandmaster
对？
said
你的
in
语
this
言环
case
境你
you'll
能
be
适应
able
了，你的
to
分数上来了，我想你的成绩就不是问题。
to feel comfortable
哎，
with the
那我
language,
也
and then
见
your
了这个孩子这
school
个照
grades,
片
school
哈，
result
他是个
will
聪
be
明的孩
increased.
子，
I've already seen
哎，
your
聪
picture.
明
You
的，
are
将来
very
成为
smart,
成为一个
and in the
很不错
future
的、很
you'll
优秀的
become
一
a
个为
very good
一种就是特殊的职业的
very
人。
and
特
work
殊，
in
比
a
如说
very
哈，成
special
为高级会计师
industry.
啊，或者成为
Maybe
律师啊，
accountant
都是
or
有可能的
lawyer.
哈。
These are all
所以这个
possible.
专
孩子，
业人士。
这个孩子
So
并不笨
嗯，
啊，
like
就是
a
新换这个
professional.
环境，谁的压力
So
都巨
actually,
大。
you're not
啊，
sleepy at all
所以
in
呢，
a
你
new
有了好
environment.
的成
Everybody
绩，
will
你在
have
澳
that
洲
pressure.
上了还能不错的学
You
校，
have good
本本分
ability
分
now.
拿
You're
到
in
毕业
Australia
证
in a
啊，
good
之
school,
后
and
在
then
澳
you
洲再
get
找上
the
工作，那移民到澳
graduated,
洲应该是很
and
容易
then
的。所以你在
you
关
go
注
to
到澳洲的移民政
university,
策。
and then
每
you
个国家
can
移民政策都是每年都有
always
改变，
pay
但是澳
attention
洲
to
一
their
直和加拿大
immigration
一样，
policies.
一直
So
以来
Australia is very similar to Canada. They always welcome immigrants, especially those young people who graduated from their university, because they also like multicultural. And so to stay in Australia is not very difficult. You just need to finish your studies. In the future, your future would be pretty good. So no need to worry too much. Just study hard.
师傅，那
Okay,
像
thank
他
you,
这样就
Grandmaster.
是
So
他一直讲
Christine
课不自
says
己不够专心的这样一
he
个
wanted tried to overcome his shortcoming as
能够给他就是
to
提
like
高
he
专注度这
always
一块有一
would
些
be
建议
distracted and cannot focus. So
如
how to
果
increase
如果他能花一点时
his
间，比如
attention
说走八
span
卦
and，be more focused.
这
Oh,
个
if
事
you
情
can,
我们的
Grandmaster
八卦
said, if you
对
can
对
spend
对他
some
的这个
time
健
to
康
walk
哈
energy
因为我在
Bagua,
看他这个
that
面相当中，我
actually
觉
when
得
I look
他可能
at
在那
your
熬的有
face,
紧
you
张的
actually
哈，
because
就
you
是
have been
心肺功
very
能都很
nervous,
弱啊。
your heart
对
and
你
your
这么年
lungs are
轻
quite
就是
weak. You're
熬
so
的
young,
啊，
but
所以的话呢，
because of all
你
these
需要应该
stress, you
获得一点健康
actually
和能量
need。
他
to
太紧张
receive
了。
some energy. You're too
对不对？
nervous.
对
你
Yeah.
想你到那儿，你从中国去的话，父母亲
You're
也
there
砸很多钱过去，
from
对不对？
you
所以
went
他
there
的
from
心理上
China.
是
Your
有压
parents
力
spend
的。
a lot of money.
带着一
Definitely,
个
you
综
have
合
a
的
lot
陌生
of
环境，
pressure,
你还读
and
出好
also
成绩，
this
你还
different
升大学等
environment.
等的，
And then you
这
think
挺折
about
磨
the
人的
studies. You think
啊。
about
所以你
going
应该
to a
把心放
satisfactory
宽啊，
university.
你将来会
That's
是不错的
very
哈。
stressful,
移
but
民澳洲不是个
just
很难的
relax.
事
In the
你
future,
只要在
your
那
future
里
will be
能
good,
够
and immigrating
能
to
够
Australia is
这
not that
个
hard. As long
你先
as
明白这件事，你可能留下，好吧，不用
yeah,
急。
you are
那么
able
我说的
to
不急，
stay in
但是你
Australia,
一
then
定
you
还要
don't
认真
need
的
to
读
be
书。
anxious. But
还有这
still,
个
you
期间
need
呢，你
to
每天
study
抽
very
上1个
hard.
小时
And
啊，
also
走八卦
during
把
this
身体
time,
弄
every
好。
day, if you can
你
walk
走上
energy
像你
Bagua
年
for
轻，
an hour,
走15天你会
you
感觉
know,
自己的体质
you're
有不
very
一样。
young. Only
啊，
after 15
而且
days
专注
walking
力
energy
更
Bagua,
力
you
因
feel
为
the
走八卦
difference.
特
And
别
then
还练你的
your
专注力。
focus,
对
yeah,
对
walking energy Bagua
是
really
专注力
helps
提高
to
以后，学习的
increase
时
the
候是事半
focus.
功倍
And
的。
and
对
then when you
这个效率
study,
会提升
没错
you
非常
would
有效率。
be
是
much more
对，
efficient
所以
in
呢，
your
你
studies.
就注
Yeah.
意这个哈。还有之前
And
前一天
also,
我教大家的哈，就是有
a few
一个
days
就
ago, I
是养心
taught
明目茶。
I
希望你上网查
actually
一下哈。
shared a tea
你可以再记
which
一下
is
哈，相关的哈，
for
就是菊
nurturing the
花
heart and improving
两
visions.
朵，啊
We have
红枣
the
2颗，
chrysanthemum and
桂
for
圆
two chrysanthemum, 2 dates, and
枸杞
longan
子
3
3个
longan and
3个至9个，就是你看
3
你的
to
体虚到
9
什么程度啊？
goji.
因为它是补
It
气的，有
depends
一点点
on
热性啊。
how weak
对
you are, because this
再
is for
配上这
nurturing
个
the
普洱
qi,
茶，
and
这
then
样来这个
plus
泡茶
pu'er
喝
tea.
啊，
And
你
if
会
you make
很快你
tea,
会觉得
this
气也
will
补起来了，但是眼
help
睛也
you
明亮
to
了。
feel
但是专注
that
度我
you
相信也会
are
增加的。
full
啊
of
这只是一
qi
个辅
and
助的一
your
个
eyes will
小
be
茶
brighter. This
小
is
泡茶
just
方
a
健康的茶方，但是走八卦的效果会更好。
tea that actually
好的，太感恩师傅了。
complement.
师傅给了
Yeah,
这么完
but
善的
energy
一个
Bagua
建
is
议
the
好具
most
体真
important.
是
So thank you so much,
送他
Grandmaster.
个
You
礼
give
物哈。
such a full package of suggestions. I'll give him a
送小团
present.
一件
I'll
八卦
give
衫
you
啊
Xiao Tuan
多
this
多八卦
Energy
吧
Bagua
你就
T-shirt.
找回健康，找
So
回自我了哈。
walk Energy Bagua,
你的
then
那
you
个定
find
力
your
哈就增
confidence,
加了
and
哈。
then you also
那
have
我
that
这样说，我也给
fortitude.
大家也提醒一下
So
哈。
I'd like to
你看接下
remind
来
everyone
是不是学生的假期又到了？
very
是
soon it
那我
would
们
be
每
the
个禅
summer
堂呢都会
vacation.
开这个八
Every
卦班
center
啊。
will have
你像温
Energy
哥华
Bagua
禅呢
class, like in
早中
Vancouver
晚
Center.
有3堂八卦
We have
这个
共修
共修
have
课程
like
啊
in the
你到时候
morning
就
and
来
afternoon we have
有
3
老师教
sessions
你一下
of
之后，你就开始
free
跟着
Energy
走，
Bagua
那个
practice
专注力
sessions.
就
You
会
can
增加。
come here
很多
and there are
年轻人哈，
instructors
在
there
读
to
书
help
期间
you.
哈，
Then you will
就
increase
是
your
身体坐
focus.
在
A
这儿，
lot
脑
of the
子都
young
跑了。
people,
对，看
they're
着
sitting there,
他的
but
多
their
呢，学
mind
的
is
时间不
somewhere
好，
else.
但是成
It
绩不
looks
高。
like that they spend a
哎，
lot of time
这
in
就是这个原
studies,
因，你
but
的
their
专注
their
没有做到。
school marks
所以
are
呢，
not
那个
very
走八
high.
卦
It's because they're
是
not
一个
very
特别
focused.
提
So
升专
walking
注力的一
Energy
个方法。
Bagua is a
你试
perfect
一试
way
就知道了。
to increase
我
your
在小时候
focus.
其实我身体不
Just
好，
give it a
其实
try.
我的
In
专
my
注的能力
childhood,
非常差。
I wasn't.
说
I
不说
was
就
very
跑
sick,
掉了。
and I
师傅，这个
was
要
not
专注
able
是
to
不是也需要
focus.
能量
So
才能
Christine
让我
said,
们
"Do
摄
we
受
need
自己的
energy
那种乱
to
七八糟的
to
心思
首先是
focus?"
能量，
So
其
Grandmaster
次
said,
还有就
first
是
is
说你的
energy,
大脑
and
结构的
next
和习惯
is also your brain structure and the way of thinking. So when it put together, if you're lack of energy, then you're very likely to be distracted. And when you have too much energy, then you can also be distracted. You have too much energy, you always want to do something else. When you walk energy Bagua, your body, mind, and speech are all together. Your eyes are looking at the fingertips and the tree, and you keep looking at that, and this is very focused. When you're used to that, then your focus will be very well. And then when your energy increase, then
那
your
么眼
eyes
睛
will
锋利
be
有神，通常
very sharp
一个是
and
就得到
glowing,
健康，
and
还
so
有呢
you will
容易得到
receive
好运气。
health and also
你有了好
good
运气呢，
fortune. When you have
从
good
升
fortune,
学、找
then
好工作、
when you
找
want
好
to
对
go
象、买好
to
房子都没
a
问题。
school or find a good job or
这一
find
系
a
列
good
的好事
house,
就
and
发生。
every good things
太好了，
may
感恩师
happen.
傅。
That's wonderful.
那
Thank you,
接下来其
Grandmaster.
实师傅就是我
So
们不
next,
少的青年网友
Grandmaster,
们
a
也都
lot
是
of
在
our
为他们
young
的学业
friends,
的
they're
问题哈，
asking
就是
about their
面对
studies.
压力
So
呀，包括怎么
because of
提
the
高这个学
pressure
习的
and
效
how
率，
to
是
increase
每
their
一个青年孩
efficiency,
子都会遇到
every
的一个
young,
共同的问题。
every student
那我们在这个之
actually
前在
are
菩提禅修青年营
thinking
上
about
就
that.
有这
So
样的
in
一位
Bodhi
小姑娘
Meditation
哈，
Youth
叫
Camp,
潘
there's
思丽，
a
她来自于新加
young
坡，
girl,
她就是告
Pan
诉了我
Li.
们
She
她
came
是
from
怎么
Singapore.
样
She told
在
us
师傅的指导
how
下，也是这样
she
的，面对
actually
压力，哎呀，自己
you know,
也不知道该怎么
after
办的情况
guided
下，
by
成功
Grandmaster,
克服以
when
后
she's
她的
also
转
facing
变。
all
那
of
我们一
these
起来看一
pressure
下
and
她的
stress, how
见证。
she actually transformed herself. Let's look at her story.
I'm 18 this year, currently studying in Nanyang Polytechnic, Marketing and E-commerce. Now in Poly, there are many projects and submissions, which makes my life even busier. I would say on a scale of 10, my stress level currently at the moment is 8 to 9. So whenever I am stressed, I will listen to Shifu's chanting at the background while I'm doing my reports. One example would be in my marketing module. I had to submit a mock-up of launching a new product. So at that point of time, I didn't know how to go ahead with this launching of this new product because I had no creativity at that point of time. So what I did was to listen to Shifu's chanting at the background as well as the Qiqing Shifu. After listening through, a lot of creative thoughts came through my mind and has helped me in terms of knowing what to launch. My marketing leader was very proud of it. He was very shocked by the product that I've launched as well. And with that, I got a distinction for my project, which means that I was top in class also. I would say my grades in secondary school wasn't the most ideal thing. I used to fail a lot of my subjects, for example, my accountant module, my English, which was actually quite scary at that point of time. VMYC definitely changed me entirely as a person, especially the phrase that VMYC always uses, 我的未来我创造. So that has, in a sense, been stuck with me to tell myself that no, I cannot always be living in a slump. I have to move on with life. I have to give myself a motivation, a goal that I want to achieve, which is why in Poly, I guess I set a very strong goal in mind that I want to achieve that, and I am currently working towards it to achieve it. I would say I'm very happy that right now my cumulative GPA is 3.76. I was nominated for director's list, which is offered to top 15% of the cohort. As well, I have also been nominated to take on the industry scholarship that is offered to students by the school as well. 感恩师傅 for being my role model as well. Because without him, I don't think I will be here where I am today as well, with a whole change of personality and also in terms of my academics and other areas of life. 感恩师傅。
你看，这是看了这个
So
美美的
look at
我们的
her.
潘思丽小师妹哈，真的是
Pansily,
她
this
其实
young
也经历
girl,
过
she
学业，其
actually
实遭
also
受挫折
experienced
嘛。
a
她
lot
不说
of
会计科目英文老
setbacks
考不
in
及
her
格的多焦虑啊，那个
studies,
时
and
候
she
哈。
couldn't
那
pass
我记得
her
她当时来这个青年营的
accounting
时候，
and
年纪很小的，
English.
14、
At the
15岁
time
这个
when she
样
came
子。
to the
那个时
youth
候还很
camp,
调
she
皮
was
的，
very young
在
and
青
she
年
was
营里
quite
面。但是师
nerdy.
傅讲的这些道理，她都
But
听进去
whatever
了。
Grandmaster taught her,
看
she
她在自己
actually
的这个学习
heard,
当中，她也
and
跟我们介绍哈，
she
现在
also
她也是觉得
told
特
us
别
in
难
this
的时候，要
sharing
写作的
when
时候，
it's
就
very
听听师
difficult
傅
for
的
her to
唱
do
诵
the
的这些
projects,
佛
and she
号
would
呀，
listen to
这些加
Grandmaster's
持的音乐呀，她就
chantings
一直
and
加
his
持她，
healing
然后她
music,
自己
and
也会诵
Master's
念
blessing
佛
him,
号这些，来帮
blessing
助
her all
她
the time, and she would
涌
also
现很多很多
chant.
创
It
意的
helps her
灵
to
感
have
哈，
a
这是她
lot
的
of
很大的收益。
inspirations.
但是她也在她的自己的
And
分享当中说的，我觉得
in
最
her
重要的一
sharing,
个
the
点
most
就是
important
师
thing
傅
I
告诉年
think
轻人，就
is
说
that
我
Grandmaster
的未来
told
我创造，
every young
这个
people,
意念
your
就
future
牢牢
is
的
in your
印
hands.
在他的脑
And so
海里，在他的
this
心里，
has
就是
been
设立了个目标， 立刻就变成
very
了动
very
力，整个
it's
人就
it's
变化
like
了。
completely changed and
所以就是
transformed
我
her.
们刚才不是有2个小朋友们，也是一个是提音，一个是小
So
团，
Ti Ying
都
and
在
Xiao
烦恼怎么
Tuan,
办
they're
怎么办？我现在
worrying
成绩
about
不
what
够，
to
很不理
do.
想。
Their
其实看
studies
看
are
哈，
not
这位
not
Pansy 小
very
姐姐，
good,
她就
and
是
so
这样
just
子。
look at
她成绩也
Pansy.
跟你们一样，
She
但是
was
不要
like
紧，
you
你就像师
before,
傅说的
but
那样，设定好一
don't
个目
worry.
标以
Just
后，
like
立
what
刻就
Master
有
said,
动力
just
会
set
出
a
来，
goal, and
真的
then
就会变
immediately you
化
will
了。
have that motivation, and
对，
everything will
这个潘
change.
思丽这个
So
效果
Pan
哈，真
Li
的好啊，
is
讲的是
yeah
很实在，
really
是，
这么小
she's
孩不说
very
谎的。
是，
你
yeah
看
she's
使
very
他
frank and
这么
really
小的
benefit a
年龄
lot.
哈，
So
已
so
经深
young,
受
she
这个
has
益处哈，
already
对，
benefited
哎，
so
他用自
much.
己的行动
She
来去体会这个我的未来我创造
she
对，
was
这个感觉哈，
对，
这多好啊！
experiencing how
哎，
to
你想他在这个
create
时
her
候，他
future,
有了
like
这个
my
感觉，而已
future
经
is in my
获得了这
hands.
个成绩
So
哈，
at this
那
time, she
再
has
过10年会
already
怎样？
achieved a
那真
lot.
是
So
人
after
生
10
成就
years, what
非
might
非常
happen?
成功
So
的
she can
一
be
种高
very
级的职业，
very
青年才俊，
successful.
对，青年
Yeah.
才俊，
So she'll be
对，
a
他真是这种
very
描述。
哎呀，太
young,
好了，收到。
这孩子就是开窍的早，
a
哎，
very
真是
young,
好啊，
successful
有礼
person.
物。
Yeah, so
太棒了。
wonderful. Give her a present.
好，这小姑娘嘛，
So it's a
美美的。
little
送你一
girl.
个美美的
Give
这
you
个宝
a
石手链哈，
beautiful
嗯，
this
祝你这
bracelet.
个天天快乐，
Wish
智
you
慧
happy
吉祥。
every day,
收到。
very
感恩师
wise
傅。
and auspicious. 收
好，那
到
接下来呢
receive.
是
Thank
一
you,
位妈
Grandmaster.
妈
And next
为2个儿
is
子
a
哈
mother
的学业方向
asking
的这个来
about
请
the
教
two
师傅。
sons for
新加
their
坡的
studies.
贺
So
茶师姐，
He
她
Cha,
呢，
Sister
她
He
说
Cha
请
from
师傅
Singapore,
为我
she
的2
asked
个儿子来
Grandmaster
指点。
to guide
大儿子名
her
叫
two
陈
sons.
彦明，
Elder
今年
son
18
is
岁。
Chen Yanming.
彦明呢，在19
He's
年参
18
加
years
过
old. In
马来西亚菩提青
2019,
年
he's
营，
been to
那
the
个时候才
Malaysia
15岁啊，
Bodhi
很害
Meditation
羞，也
Youth
没有
Camp. At
自
that
信。
time, he was
见过
15
师
years
傅，听
old,
了
very
师傅开
shy,
示
not
呢，
very
以
confident.
后非
After
常崇
listening
拜
to
师傅。
Master's
回家以后
teachings,
变
he
得
admired Grandmaster.
真的慢慢
And
开始
then
开窍
after
了。
he went back,
学
he
业、功业、
started to
功课上
awaken
都是
wisdom,
自动自
and
发，
he
不用
would
家长操心，
be
也
very
开始
actively
关心
do
照顾
his
弟弟，
studies,
让我
and
们
he
感到
doesn't need
非
us
常
to
欣
worry
慰。
about him, and started
彦
to look
明
after
明年就
his
要上
younger
大学了，
brother. We feel
但是
so
呢，不知
happy.
道要读什
And
么
next
科
year
系。
he would go
虽然
to
他喜
needs
欢
to go
的
to
科
university
目是
now. He
数
didn't
学，
know what
但是他还是对
major
未
he
来
should
感
choose,
到很
even
迷
though he
茫，
likes
希望师
math.
傅
But
能指
he's
引
still
他。
very confused about his
那彦
future,
明还有一
and
个
hope
想问的
Grandmaster
问
can
题是：
guide him. And
活
another
在当下比
question
较
is
好，
that is it
还
better
是
to
规划
live
未
at
来
the
比
present
较好？
moment or to plan
那
for
彦
the
明也是
future?
给师傅提供了照
And
片
also,
啊，
this
对。
is Yeming's
他因为
picture.
明年要上大学嘛，也想请师傅指导
Next
他，
year, he
他
would
要
go
学什
to
么样的科
university.
系
So,
对他
what
比较适
major
合。
would be
他的
suitable
专
for
长是
him?
数学。
And he is very good at math.
你觉得呢？
So, what do
我
you
觉
think,
得
Joyce?
数学这个就是挺
I
好的，是很
think
多那个基础科学的这个
math
最基础的学科了
is
哈。
like the
那像现
basic.
在的话，我是觉得
But
像计算机
now
方
I
面
would
发展
think if he
还
can
是挺有
develop
前途
into
的。
computer
对。
science,
这是咱们的一
maybe
种
it
共
will
鸣
have a
吧。
better
嗯，
我
future.
觉得这
Well,
个孩子
Grandmaster
挺
said,
有
yeah,
出
we
息的。
have the common language. I think that this
首先
young
他的
man
智商是很
would
高
have a
的。
good future. He,
所以
first of all,
我
he has
如果
very
直白的回答
high
就是，
IQ.
我建议这小
And
朋友
just
呢，
to tell
这
him
个彦明
frankly,
哈，
I would
就
like to
是
suggest
读
Yanming
这个，
to
因为我们现在读书其实是在为未来的职业
对
在读，
because
对
we
未来
are
的未来职业型呢，
studying
就是
for our
如果
future
你有一定
career.
的智商，
If
你
you
来读这
have
个
a
科
good
技型的
intelligence, then you
这
need
样的
to
专
learn
业
something
啊，比如说
relating to
将来
science
去
and
学习，
technology.
那有一种最
Say,
新
for
的电脑科
example,
技叫 AI 技术，
the
就是
most
人工智能
advanced,
人工
you
智
know,
能
AI
其实这个是一个
technology.
很有前途的。
是
Yeah,
的，
但是到
and
了
this
细
has
致
a
分
very
科的时
good
候，可能还有
future.
很多细分法啊，
对。
每个大学
And
也不一样。
Maybe see
像
in
这个孩
every
子的这种潜质来
university
说
they
的话
also have
应该是往这个
more
方向去
detailed
走
subjects. And so
哎
for this
等
young
你
man,
学
I
出来的
think
时
this
候啊
direction would be
哎
suitable for
再来
him.
找这个工作就好
And after you
那叶
graduate,
明
you
还有一
would
个问题，
be
他
able
问
to
说
find a
说
good
对于
job.
他来讲哈，是活
And
在当
also-
下比较好，还是规划未来比较好？
His
我觉得呢，
question also
先是展
whether
望
should
和规
we
划
live
未来
at the
为未来而
present
做
moment
为
or
未来
plan
而
for
活
future. So Grandmaster
对
says, so
因为有
first
很
you
多人
need
在
to
当
plan
下
for
的时候
future.
啥都不是
A lot of
在
times
当下
for a
的时
lot
候
of
觉得
people
看不到
at the
明天的
present
太阳
moment,
是
对不对？
you you are
但是因为我
nothing
们
and you
心
cannot
中有一
see
个未来的
tomorrow's
光明的
sun.
太阳
But
和光
if
明的
in
人
your
生，
heart you
这
have a
人
bright
生之中
sun
有一
and have
种
a
就像是
bright
一种渴望也
life,
可
and
但
so
是这
you
个渴望如果
have
在你心中
even
不会
it's
灭
just a
掉的话，
longing,
你
and
就
if
有可能去拥
this
有。
wish
那是
is
未来的方
still
面。
bright, then you will be able
对，
to
其实人就是
achieve
怕
that.
说
So
我对未来的这个展望和
Yeah,
梦想
it
都
would
不敢想。
yeah,
会有怕
actually, if
所以一
you
定要给自己的
even
未来
dare
有一
not
个想象的空间。
thinking about your
我就是
future,
做
then
那
that would
样
be
的人。
terrible. So at least you
哎
need
你
to
就 不管未
be
来能不能
able
实
to
现
visualize
你
your
就会
future,
很快
whether
乐
you can reach
但
it
是
or
而
not,
且
then
还
you'll
比
be
一般
happy.
没有梦想的人
And
那个成就
people
就大
with
多
a
了。
dream will
嗯
definitely
所以
achieve
一定要有个梦
much
想
more
并
than
且努力
people
去
who
实
do
现。
not have a dream, and then you would
感
have
恩
the
师父。
motivation
嗯
to
那接下
achieve
来弟
that
弟还
goal.
有个问
And
题啊，
哦
next,
弟弟还有
弟弟呢今年
the
14
younger
岁，叫贺
brother
正
has question.
喜欢打羽毛
His name is
球，
He
也
Zhen,
是
14
州
years
县
old. He
代表
likes
选
to
手。
play
他
badminton,
呀，一个星
and
期要训练
he
6
also
天，无
represents
论多
their
么辛
county.
苦，他都
And
能够
every
坚
week
持，
he would train
很
for
勤
6
奋的
days,
去
even
训练。
though he
教
needs to
练都很
practice
心
very
疼他。
hard. He would
但是
diligently
呢，
practice,
上了
and
比赛的赛
the
场就
coach
特别
really
紧张，没
cared
有
about
办法
him. And
正常发
whenever,
挥。
however,
贺正
when
想问
he's
师
in a
傅，在球
competition,
场
he would
上
be too
要如
nervous
何
to be
克
able
服
to
紧
play
张的
normally.
心
So
情，才能够发挥
he
正
liked to
常。
ask Grandmaster how he
啊
can
然
overcome
后
the
还有呢，
nervousness
就是
and be
贺
able
正
to
呢，因
play
为
normally.
是在疫情期
And
间，从小学6年级
also,
升上初中，都是在
during the
家上网
pandemic,
课。
he
到了
was
今年
taking
3月份
online
才回到学
classes
校哈，正
and
常上课。所以
from
功课呢有
elementary
点跟不
school
上，
go to junior
同时还
high.
要加上兼
And
顾要练球。想问师傅有什么
so
方法
only
提
in
升
March
专
that
注
he
力和记
went
忆
back
力，
to
能
school,
够
so
把
he
学业和
wasn't
打
able
球
to
都
catch
兼
up.
顾
So
好。
how
感
can
恩师
he
傅。
increase his focus and memory
首
so that
先
he
这个
can
弟
do
弟的
both
问题
well,
呢，就
both the
是
know
先是一个
studies in
怎
school
么样
and
提高这
also
个专注力
badminton?
嘛。
So
专
first
注
of
力
all,
这个
to
刚才我们讲了
increase the
对
focus,
走
we
八
have
卦
already mentioned
你
that to
做到
walk
1小时
energy
你说
Bagua.
这个
If
半
you
小时也
cannot
可以
walk
啊
half a
非常
whole
厉害
hour, at least you
啊
should walk half an
那
hour.
么
It would be very
他第二个问
effective.
题
第二
And
个问题
what
就
is
是
the
他
second
呢，就是
question?
训
The
练的
second
特别
question
的
is about he
那个
actually
勤奋，对。
play
但是呢，
badminton
就是
very
一上场呢
diligently,
就
but whenever he
不
goes
容
to a
易正常
competition,
发挥，就
and
状态
he
不
would be
好
very
啊，就
nervous
影
and
响了
cannot
成绩。
play
说怎么能
properly.
够到赛
So
场上不紧
how
张，
can
能够
he
正常发挥呢？
overcome his
我
nervousness?
觉得谁比
So
赛没有人不
Grandmaster
紧
says
张。
everybody, when
哦
in
哪
a
怕已经
competition,
成
would
为
be
国际
nervous,
冠军
even
的
though
人
they're
上
already
场
a
到
world
了比赛的这
champion.
个时间还是紧
And
张
at
的。
the competition,
能够
they
和你
would
比
still
赛
be
的人就
nervous.
说
The
明和你
people
旗鼓
who
相当
can
的，
compete
甚
with
至
you,
他
they
是你的老
probably
前辈，他
will
能打
be
得过你，对不对？你
you
能
know,
不紧
about
张
the
吗？
same level as
你如果
as
根
you,
本
or
不紧张，
maybe
你就根本
they're
没想上场
seniors.
打。
And if
只
you're
要
not
上场打才
nervous,
紧张，
then you're
因为尤
definitely
其是叫
if
竞
you
赛的体育
are
项目嘛，
in the
你
competition,
不
you
一定
definitely
能
be
证明今
nervous,
天你就一定是能
and
赢哈。
you
所以的话
cannot
紧张是正常。
necessarily prove
那
that
么克服
definitely
紧
you
张
will
心理
win,
来说，
right?
其实有
To
一种
overcome the
我也
nervousness,
不
I
好说的一
actually
种心态
there's
啊。
a kind
比
of
如说屋里
mindset
的
that
儿
it's
子
very
呢
hard to
是
explain.
学
Say,
那
for
个下
example,
棋
Christian's
哈，
son
下
was
围棋。
playing
我觉得有一次你给我介绍的，我特别感动，特别好。
chess, and there was
你
once
说我
that
那个
you
儿子，我有点
said
发愁，发什么愁啊？这已经5、6年前了哈。
嗯，是。
我说
actually
发什
it
么愁
was
呢？
5
那他
years
下棋
or
的时候说，他好像叫
6
什么，
years
总有
ago.
个
Oh,
他
to play
不太
Go.
有胜负心。
对。
Yeah, he
他觉
always
得
think
胜负
about
无所谓。
win or lose,
这
but
这
when he
所以
doesn't
一般的
care
家长和
whether
教练一
he
听，
wins or
就
not,
会觉得有点生
then
气。
嗯，对。
well,
你不
usually
求
the
胜负，为什么给
the
人下棋
coaches
呢？
or the parents would think,
但是就
oh,
是说
if you
要
don't
分
care
几
about
种境界
win,
哈。
then
如
why
果
should
在
you
高
play
境界
it?
之中的不求
Well,
胜负
the
哈，我觉
higher
得反而是
level
图以
of
娱乐下棋。
don't care
没有
about
胜负的
these
感觉，反而
result,
是一种叫
it
做一种
actually
生存之道。
is a good
但
survival
是求胜
way.
心
If
重了
you
之后，
too
你就会
care
下错
about
棋。
success, then you
因为
may
下了棋之后，你
do
就不可能
wrong.
再挪出
And
去，对
because
不对？
when you
那一
play
步步
one
下去就
step,
落
you
棋。
cannot
但是
go
你的
back.
错就错在了
And but the mistake is
你有
that
一种求胜
you
心切的心态。
you're too
我
anxious
要
to
荣耀，
win,
我一定要
and you
胜。
want glory, you want to
哎，所
to
以这个
win.
就看你怎么理解这
And
件事
so
情。
it depends
所以
on how
我
you
觉得这个境
understand
界是一个
this.
很高的
So
境
this
界，
is a very
他反而
high
能下
level.
得好。所以你儿子那个棋艺不错的，
Your son
对不对？
actually
但是
is
你作
very
为
good
去
at
竞争的，
playing
尤其是现
Go.
场竞
And
争，两人下棋
so
或者两
if
人
you're
打球，所以
playing
我一定要打败
uh,
你。
whatever chess or Go or playing
或者说
any
他算什么？
balls,
你看现在
then
我
if you
在
too
我们
care
全县
about
排名我是排
win,
第一了，
say for example
这
in
是
the
我们
whole
县
county
全
I'm number
全县
one,
之中
I'm
第
the
100
top.
名。那这两个打球的时候，
And the other
那么
person
第一
is
名的
number
和第100
100.
名的
So
谁压力
number
大呀？
one and the number 100, who will have more
他不能
pressure?
输。
第一
Well,
名的压力
the
大。
number
是
actually
有
is the
时候会出现一种
person.
错觉，
A lot of
第一名
times
的没
there
有压
will
力，说
be
这小不
an
点儿，你
illusion.
像我打
Oh,
第10名的，
the
不出3球
the
就把打输
person
了，
who's
3球我就0-3， 对不
always
对？
the
我已经
champion
赢了。
would think, oh,
他
I
100
probably just
名的，他
play
能在我跟前能过几招啊？
maybe
对？
3 balls
所以我
and
打
then
10个
I'll
球
be
保
able
证
to
是0
succeed.
比10，
And maybe it would be like
但是如果
0 to
你被
10.
人家打输
But
了，
what if
就
you
丢掉了
actually
第一名。
你
are
就变成了
defeated?
101
Then
名。
you will be
从第一名
100, number
就变成这样的结果，
101,
知道吗？
then that would be the result.
所以你看到对方
So
很
when
厉害
you
的时候，你
see
的
the
压力
other
才来了。
person actually is
所以
not
当
that
藐
bad,
视了
then
对
you
方
will start
又
to
是一
be
个
very
错误。
stressful. When you
当
look
太
down
重视的时
upon
候，
them
心里
is
就
a
会紧
mistake,
张嘛。
but when you
所以
too
这
care
个其
about
实
them,
这样
then
一个竞赛的过
that will
程，
make you
实际
nervous.
上除了正式
So
的那个技术和体能的训练之外，
in addition to
你的心
training
理的
for
这
the
个状
technique
态是
and
特别的重要。
your physical energy, your
第一个我要
mindset
好好
is
打，
very,
第二个
very
的话，
important. First of
我
all, you need to play
不去
well,
弄一些
but
非常阴险的
secondly,
球，
you
其
do
实
not
2招就
want
打死你，
to
对不对？我先和你
play
就是
some
就是为了
tricks
性的
to
打，
defeat.
但是我尽
You
量保
just
证自己
want
别输
to。play well, but
我每
make
个
sure
球都
that you
能
will
接起
not
来，
fail. You will
因为
be
有这
able
个
to
本事，
catch
每个
every
球都给
ball.
你接过去，
Yeah,
能
you'll
打
be
到你那
able
边去。
to catch
啊，但
every
是并
ball.
不希望说把
but
对方非得打败。
You don't
但有这
really
么一
want
种
to
类似
always
这种
defeat
叫
the
中
other
庸之道的
person.
心
So
态
when
的时
you
候，
are
可能你打得
in
特别好。
taking the middle way, then
所以他们
maybe
金
you
庸
will
写的那
be
个
able
高
to
手武
play
林高手哈，
perfectly.
也不是为
In
父亲
Jin
报
Yong's
仇的时候，
novel,
他和一
those
些武
martial
功比他低
arts
的人在打的时候，他
masters,
用
when
的
they
像
are
玩笑一样玩
like
的，
playing
和他的
with some
情绪和
people
仇
with
恨没有
lower
关系。
level of martial
我没有
arts,
必要
then
非得杀死你啊，
he doesn't want
对
to
不对？
kill them,
这
right?
游戏心理给
And
你
so
给
they're
我，
just
说
playing
你
with
拿了一
them.
个削铁如泥的宝剑，我拿个烧火棍，
Yeah, maybe you are using
你
a
看我
very
想把你
sharp
打死你，
knife and
肯定
only
不想嘛，我
using
一逗着你玩
like
儿，
a stick,
反
a
而这个时候
wooden
能表
stick,
现出
and
非
I'm
常
just
精湛
playing
的
with
技
you.
艺。
But however,
是不是啊？
in this way, you
你
will
看那个
probably
苏
be
轼
able
寒
to
食帖，
manifest
你们家不是
really
挂过吗？
good martial
啊，
art skills.
其实里头就是告诉他那个
And
佣人，就是说，
so,
今天晚上吃红烧茄子啊，
like
别
in
放肉
the
啊，放那豆子啊。
story,
对，
they
因为
said,
他写
oh,
给他的
he
家人
wrote
奴
to
仆的
his
这么一个
servants. He said, oh, tonight we'll just
一
have
个
some,
食方是吧？
yeah, this
你想他
recipe
会
for
好好
this
写吗？
food.
像一个便条似的。
你想
It's
他
just
好好写
like a
吗？
very casual note.
如果说
Would he be
皇帝
able
说
to
你
write
帮我抄
something
一篇经
very
文，那什么感觉
carefully?
啊？立
And
刻
if
抽
the
筋，
emperor
就抽
asked
筋，
him to write
写出来
something,
之后说
he
像
would
印
be
刷
so
体一样，
nervous, and
但是就
every
没有人
letter
味儿，
would be like printing,
知道吗？
but it won't
他
be
为什么现
very
在来看说亲手写的那
nice.
个书法也好，一封信也好，其实它的文物价值越高呢？
So
你看出它有它的情绪
that's
那种
why
自在潇洒的感觉。
actually
所以他写过那么多的
when
字，
they are
为什么
writing
呢
very
寒食帖那么出名
freely,
呢？他和他的
it
佣人写字的
actually
时候，
has more
你想他
value
能给像
when
皇帝
he's
一样
writing
吗？
to a servant.
他
Of
完全
course,
放
he
到
would
他
be
就
very
乱写，
relaxed. It's
但
not
写
like
的这
when
个
he's
感觉
writing
反
to
而
the
就是最
emperor.
好。
But this
它
feeling
成
is
为
actually the
在
best,
中国的
and
这个
that
书法历史
handwriting
上哈，它成
becomes
了一个最精彩的一
yeah,
个笔啊，
it's the
请记
the
住寒
most
食帖，
excellent
在中国历史
calligraphy.
上文人之中最有名的啊。
Yeah, so this
我就见过那个
becomes
原件儿，
one of the best
亲眼看过。
calligraphy. I actually
已
has
经很好
been
了。
able to, I had the opportunity
所
to
以就是
see
在
the
自在
original
中才
copy
能
of
得以
that
发挥自
calligraphy.
己的
So only
那
when
种
you are in
艺
that
术境界
very
的那个最好的状态
in
啊，
at
打球也
ease, you'll
好，
be able
艺
to
术创作也好，甚
to
乃至到
to
企业
do
管理也好，
best.
乃至军
Yeah,
事指导
whether
也好，
it's
都是
playing
有这样的一
games
种
or play
需要学
chess 和
习这
or
样的和
military,
领悟这
then
样的
you
一种
need
心
to
态。
learn and try to grasp
感
that
恩师
kind
傅。
of mindset.
师傅，那
Thank you,
我替这个
Grandmaster.
弟弟还有一个问题想问一下哈，那可能是我的问题吧。
Well,
就是说他
I
是
I
一个
I like
年
to
轻的
ask
这个羽
another
毛球运
question
动员了
for
哈，
for
他也
this
很
young
希望
brother.
去
Maybe my
拿
question,
比赛
and
能
he's
够
a
不断地
badminton
取得
player,
进
and
步。
he wants to
但是
continue
就是
to
说他适
succeed.
合走
But
这样的一种专业性的道 道路吗？
Is he suitable for becoming a professional badminton player? I actually worry about sports injury. Oh, you're a very kind person, Grandmaster says.
我可能我的想法
Maybe
都不一定符合每个人的心意啊。
what I say will not
因为我
satisfy
认识
everyone.
过
However,
体操世界冠军。
well, I
羽毛
know
球世界
some
冠军。
world champions
我
for
还曾经见过
gymnastics and
这个非常著名的篮球运动员。
NBA basketball players and also the highest level martial arts master, I think that when they have to make a living on sports or those skills, when they need to get to a very high level, they actually are using their body to make a living. When they are reaching a certain age, then the feeling would be completely different from what they feel when they were young. When they're at middle age, I feel pity for them. Thinking about when they were young, they get the champion, and then what kind of career would they choose? Oh, maybe a lot of people say that being a coach. However, considering his intelligence, his elder brother wanted to do a career that will help the society and also being able to make a living. And also, the older he is, the better. But in the sports, the older, the worse. Yeah, they need to. It's just like those actors or actresses. When you were young, everything's fine, but after 35 years old, you would think, oh no, it's not good anymore. And so after 50 years old, there are still people asking you to play in a movie. Then you will be so happy. You almost want to kowtow to the director of the movie because it's not easy. So for young people, when you are setting your goal, try not to find a career that only young people are more likely to succeed. If there are some skills involved, and like some technology involved, then it helps you to, when you get older, you would be even better. But for these sports, it really you need to be young, but all those cheers actually misleading these people, and so maybe they said, oh, this school actually will accept this student just because they are very good at running. Yeah. Maybe they were a world champion before, but after that maybe they will do selling houses or something. They don't know what to do. Yeah, in the first 10 years they're always living in the chairs. But Buddha said in the Diamond Sutra, he said everything is just these illusions, and you're trying to pursue those illusions. There's a song, I think, singing about it. When people are clapping their hands, I understand. When people are clapping their hands, a round of applause, I'm more clear. And then, so when all the audience have left and the lights are shut, and then you feel very lonely, very lonely. In your life, there's only 10 years would be like so glorious, but then you still need to survive, right? And then you still need to survive, but you cannot run as fast, and then you're not as pretty. So where can you find those cheers anymore? It's actually even worse than a peasant when they're harvesting their crops. And look at them, so contented and happy. And so I'd like to persuade our young people, when you're choosing your life career, you need to find a career that the older, the better. It's not like only glorious and when you are young. because otherwise you can only be glory when you were very young. After
你比
that,
如
you
说
still
体
need
操冠军，
to
像
to
女
live
子体
on.
操冠军，
Like a
你
champion
通常
of
过冠军
the
的是多大年龄呢？
gymnastics,
13到16
usually
岁。
from
还那个
13
时候
to
还特
16
别怕
years
他的身
old.
体发育。
Yeah,
那个时候教练
they
哈
will
还不管他
be
发育。
champions.
吃
Yeah.
哎，还不
Well,
能发育。
actually,
不让
the coaches
不是
don't
不让
even
他
want
发
them
胖。
to
嗯，
eat too much because they
对呀，
don't
你
want
一发
them
育就
to
发胖，
get
一发胖
too
就甩不起来了。
fat,
对不
and
对？
then because
你满身
otherwise
赘
they
肉
won't
怎
be
么
able to
跳？
do good
那就
gymnastics,
跳那么
right?
多圈儿，对不对？哎，教练痛快了，可是你的
Well,
孩子呢？比如
But
说你
this
16岁得了世界
child,
冠军，
maybe
请问
at
从17
16
岁
you
你干
become a
啥职
world
业？
champion, but after 16, say for
懵了
example
吧？
17 years old, what are you
我
going
遇
to
到的
do?
曾经的类似于接近于
What
世界
career are
冠
you
军
going
的
to
小姑
choose?
娘，
I
躲
actually
在一个
met
角落的吸毒。
those world
我是
champions,
天
the
地
little
良心
girl.
对的，这
Yeah,
是我亲眼见到的。
I
太可惜
saw
了
with
哈。
my
我认识
own
的
eyes
世界冠
she
军大哥
was
跟你还在他
taking
办公室外
drugs.
头在那吸毒，我
Yeah.
怎么这样呢？
She was
哎，
a world champion
这
before,
拿到
but
世
she
界
was
冠军
taking
的是人生
drugs.
路怎么走呀？
And
怎
then
么
she was
可是拿
saying
到
like,
冠军是
I've
不是？
already got the
那你没拿到
champion
冠军
and
呢？
what should
你
I
连你
do
的县
now?
级冠军都
Now
不是，
you
请问你
haven't
的人
got
生
the
之路
world
怎么走？
champion yet. You haven't even be
是
the
不是？
champion of your
所以
county.
回
And
头是
then
岸，
so
学一个
uh,
能越
what
老
are you
越
going
吃
to do
香的
next?
这样
So
一个 项
well,
目一个学科
start
啊。说这个孩子不
at this
笨，
moment
这
and
个叫
find
贺正是吧？
something
贺正
that
是一个
will
聪明
be
的孩子，
actually the
也
older
听
the
得懂我
better.
说的
So
话，好
Her
吧？
Zheng, I
从
hope
今
you
天
can
开始决
understand
定
me from
选
now
择
on.
自己未来的新的方向，
Choose a
去
new
努力吧。
direction for your future and
哎
then
师
work
傅
on
也是要
work
早
hard
点
on
做好
it.
未来的规划。
And
对，
so
因
you
为你
need
有
to
练
make a
练球的
good
这样一种
planning for
吃
your
苦耐劳的
future.
精神哈，有这个
You
毅力，
have
你
that
学啥都能成
diligence
功。
in practicing
太好了，
the
是来鼓励。
badminton. So whatever you choose to
我给大
do,
家建
then
议
you'll
就这么直
definitely
爽
be
哈。
very
对，最有
successful.
效了，
So
最有
this
效
is
的，
my
对，感
suggestion.
受
I'm
但是
very
真
frank.
真是，
Yeah,
嗯
I'm
对
very,
对
very sincere. I give you a
哎，
prize.
这个孩子我送他一串念珠吧。啊
Well,
好啊。
this child, I'll give him
两
some
位呢，还是
chanting
哥
beads.
哥？
弟
Oh,
对
oh,
哥
two
哥
of
跟
them.
弟弟
哥哥
Yeah.
还没给呢嘛。
还
So
没有。
the siblings, I'll give the
这个
elder
念珠呢，
brother and
给
the
哥
younger
哥，
brother.
啊，
So this chanting bead
这
is
记
for
住
the
啊。
elder brother, and the younger brother,
啊，给你一颗
I'll give
古老的
you this
佛珠啊，
ancient
你到时候戴在身
bead,
上，挂到脖子上哈。
a
哎，
Buddhist
健康平
bead.
安，将来
Hope you
有所成
healthy
就，好吧？
and
感恩师傅，
safe
太
and
好了。
peaceful.
贵啊
And
也恭喜这个家庭哈。
I wish
这
your
出两
whole
个非常优
family,
秀的孩
you
子。
congratulations to
太好了，
have
非常
such
高兴，
wonderful,
羡慕啊。
excellent
感恩师傅。
young
嗯，
men.
好，师傅，接下
So
来呢
thank
也
you,
是为老母
Grandmaster.
亲哈，也是在给自己的孩子
Master,
在
the
选择
next
未来的专业的时候，想请教师傅
question
的
comes
这样
from
的一个来
a
信。
mother.
珍贵的师傅您好。
Dear Master,
全家
we
顶礼叩拜
are
感恩您
sincerely
对儿子小
grateful
鹿一
to
直的加持与护佑。
Grandmaster's blessing
目
and
前孩子
protection
刚
for
高
my
考圆
son,
满，
Xiao Lu.
对孩
My
子未来
son
专
has
业
just
选
finished
择
his
我也
university
不知道，
entrance
不知
exam.
所措，
We're
摸不到
overwhelmed
方
and
向。
don't know which
6月
future
30号
career
之
should
前
he
就要提
choose.
交志愿
He
表
needs to
了。
enter
祈
his
请
choice
师傅
before
能
June
为孩子的
30th.
未来指
Master,
引一
please
条
point
出
a
路，
way for his
应该选
future.
择怎
Which
样的专
discipline
业和
should
技
he
能方
choose?
向？感恩师傅。
Thank you,
目
Master.
前他的成
His
绩呢是
exam results
309
is only
分，只能选择
309,
专科
and
院
he can
校了。
only
根
choose
据成绩也选择
from
了一些学
technology
校和专
colleges.
业。
He has chosen two
是机
directions
械类
based on
专业，
his
一
grade.
个方向
One
是
is
中药
mechanical
学专业。
studies, and the
当
other
然，
is
这也是
Chinese
我们自
medicine,
己家里比较
traditional
盲
Chinese
目选
medicine.
的。
Both are
祈请
blind
师傅您
choices.
能帮助
Master,
他选择一个
please
未
guide
来有
them.
出路的方向。
Guide
也
him
祈请
to
师
a
傅
direction
加
with
持
hope.
小鹿
Please
早日
bless
开
him to
窍，
open his
未来
mind
走
and walk
正确
on
的
the
路。
right path in the
顶礼感
future.
恩师傅。
We're sincerely grateful to Master.
好，这个小鹿妈妈的问题就问这个孩子小
So
鹿
Xiao
哈，
Lu's
他
mother's
现在这
question
个
is for
考试
her
成绩不
son
太
Xiao
高
Lu.
哈
His
300来分的
exam
话
result is
考
only
到大
just
专
over
吧
满分是多少
300.
分？
What is
将近700多分了。
Oh, the
700
highest
我们一个
grade
网友
is
不是说
over
那个高考
700
成绩
marks.
690分的哈
There was
哦，
another
我
one
觉
who
得
said
可能
that
是
he
700
got
和720分
600
是最
something.
高分
700多分
I think the
哎
highest
所以
is
你考
just
了一
over
半儿
700. So
就是
you
就按
only
100分来说
achieved
等于
about
50来分啊
50%.
我觉得还考得还不错啊，比我考得
It's a
好
good
啊
grade. It's better than
嗯
I
那我就跟你
was
聊一下这个，有些孩子哈，
So
因
some
为有些
children,
他的遗传，
because of
体质
their
哎，他的心智，
their genes,
哎，他的
because
脑
of
结构，
their physical
就是
or
一读书就
mental
困，有没有
status,
这样孩子？有
even
吧？
some of
就我
it's
就是，
their
是吧？
it's their physical build of their brain. When they start to study, they feel very sleepy. Your mind is clouded, and that's why you can't get a good mark in exams. These children, do you believe that everybody's intelligence is different? Some people, for example, Uli, has a very good memory. If you lend her $20 10 years before, she still remembers it today. And some people, if they scolded her 60 years ago, she still remembers. And it cannot be erased from her memory. We all have similar sized brains, but it's like imprinted in her brain. But how come we cannot save anything to our brain? Why are we pure? Why do we have purity? Because our brain is blank. So I'm very jealous of people who are very intelligent. So there is a difference in our intelligence. Some children, their grades might not be very good, and they cannot get into very good schools. Because if these schools accept students with bad marks, their ranking will also decrease. And so they want to choose from the best of the best. They want to make their school ranking higher, so they want to pick the best students. However, what about people like us? Our intelligence is just like this. What is our way out? I think there's still a way out. In ancient China, there's a saying that any road leads to Beijing, any road can lead to Roma. There's many different passes. There's not just one path in life. So first I want to answer Xiao Lu's question. Let me look at his picture. When I see his picture, I can see that he has weaker vital energy, and so there's less energy flowing into his brain, and maybe due to concentration issues, maybe because of the school, his teacher, his friends, or his family issues, so that he didn't get a good grade in exams, but he is still a smart child. If he got into a good school with good teachers, he can get a good mark. But at this university entrance exam, if you can't get to any better school, then I have an advice. So in the world, around the world, people's salaries are getting normalized. There are less and less differences. I'm actually very familiar with the salary of people in Beijing, Shanghai, in Eastern Asia, in North America. Many industries, many careers, they actually don't require you to have a top diploma. You can study. Right after you get out of high school, and you can make a living with that. So my advice to Xiao Lu, because we usually help people from their physical health to their mental health. And if you're in China, or no matter where you are, can you learn traditional Chinese medicine? Or traditional Chinese medicine, learn about the herbal medicines or acupuncture. If these are not what you want, there is something else. If you are something convenient for you, if you can learn any specialty in traditional Chinese medicine. And another thing I recommend is actually chiropractor. traditional Chinese chiropractor.
首先不是脚底按摩
It
说
is
捏
not-
捏一下这个穴位啊痛了，那个又叫了那些，这
It
不
is
叫
not
本
foot massage.
谁捏谁都会叫啊，
Anyone who
因为很少大家去使劲
pinches
捏
your
脚
foot,
对
you
不对？
will start
先
to
别说人家有没
scream,
有病，这个做法本
no
身
matter
这就有
whether
病
you have an illness or not.
我说的是真正的正骨
I'm
学
talking about
比如说
the
你从马上
real
摔下来
chiropractor. Say that
有
if you
有
fell
肩
off a
膀着地
horse and landed
之
on
后
your
肯定不会
shoulder,
痛啊一个肩膀高一个
you
肩膀
will
低
probably
还有
have
是骨
neck
头碎
pain
裂
and one of your shoulder will be
但是如果
higher
没有
than the
碎裂
other, and you
但
might
就是
even
脱
get
臼了
a
还有
fracture.
脊椎
Say
开
that
始
what
错
if
开点位置没有什么好方法把它给正过来
what
所以
if
最后
it's
就
not
导致一个是脊椎
completely
侧弯
fractures,
还有
it's
呢
just
心
dislocated
肺都会受
shoulder,
影响
and it
从内
will
脏变成有病
affect
对
your
不对
spine,
这
and
是
it will
很
also
常见的一
affect
种
your
说法
heart
就是
and
在全世界
lungs.
特别缺少
And
很
so
正
all
宗的
around the
以
world,
正骨把你原来那个骨骼那个
a
位置
good
哈全给你推
chiropractor
正了
is
但
needed
是又不
to
用手术
realign
特别缺
the
少这样的医
spinal
生
cord, the
但
spine
是我
without
知道
surgery,
我所知
without
道的去学这个学科的话
operation.
好好学
And I
学
know
它
that
一年
if
这
you
个对学的
learn
要求
this
不太高
specialty, you
但是
can
你一
learn
定要
it
专
in
科学
a
出来
year,
有可能你还在专科去练习
and
这
you
个
will
走
need
遍世界都
training.
有饭吃是直白的这种
And
正说
afterwards, when
我
you
说这个科
when you
目为啥让
complete
你
the
学这个科
diploma,
呢
you will be
因为
able
会
to
的
find a
人
job
少
all around the world. Why
会
do
的
I
人特别少
recommend this? Because very
啊比如说在
few
温哥华
people
吧
know
真
how to
正懂
perform
得
it. For
推骨正骨
say
的人
in Vancouver,
那住了这个几百万人可
there
能
are
懂得正骨的人也
millions
不
of
会超
people
过
living in Vancouver,
200人
and maybe less than 200
所以很多人
of
就是比
them
如说那个
knows
车
how
祸
to
撞一下
uh,
晃一下
realign
但
the
是没有任何受
bones.
伤就是经常说
Sometimes when people have a
胸骨有点
car
痛
accident,
就明
they
摆
don't
就是
have
靠外
any
向的
external
没人知道
injuries,
你会
but
吗
their
就
bones
像会的
might
人
be
在10分钟之内给它推好了
might not
就是这
might
样
be slightly
在利益众生嘛
dislocated
那你谋生呢
and
众生有需要你帮的人都是你
it
谋
might
生
be
哪是
slightly
问题
out of place, and then you
就是
can
这
help
样
them.
你可以哪怕语言不通你看我们
Even
片
though
子
if you
他说
don't
清楚了他的病程
speak their
你说他快点
language,
他推好
if
了
you
多
can
好的事
see their
没有
X-rays or other images, then
你
you
很
can
难
help
找
them to
所以
um,
成绩不
to
太高的孩
realign
子
the
们
bones.
啊如果将来能够
So
希望走遍世
children
界
who doesn't have
利益
a
众生
very high
啊
grade,
我特
if
别
you
推
want
荐
to be
你学
able
这
to
个
travel the world
那
and
么第二个
benefit
在中医之
help
中才是
help
真骨
sentient
那
beings,
第三个
then
比
I
中医再高
recommend
一点学个
chiropractor.
中医大夫
So traditional Chinese
如果比较喜欢
chiropractor,
草原
or
是
you
蒙古大
can
夫
learn to become a
所以也很
traditional
厉害的
Chinese physician,
蒙
or
古
you
大
can
夫对
also
骨科
learn
上非常有这个经
traditional
验是很
Mongolian
厉害的啊
physician,
这样啊
and they are also very good
那所以的
in
话呢小鹿
to
这个
help
看
with
你
bone
的这个
issues.
感觉哈我
So
建议
Xiaolu,
你
it's
学中医当中的
so
有
I
这个
would suggest
最
you
少
to
也学个正
learn
骨科
something
啊这个全世界都
related to
特别的
traditional Chinese
需要
medicine,
啊
especially traditional Chinese chiropractor.
我现在介绍过一会儿吧过一会儿给大家介绍
Let me,
我想给一些青年朋友就是你的
I
成绩确实
want
不太高
to introduce
那这个
something to young
所知
people
道
who
的啊
doesn't have a very high
就是有
grade.
哪些行业
Some
是
of
不需要太
the
高的
the
文化知识
industries I know
就
that
能
doesn't
够去
require
学到和考
a
上
high
的啊
diploma.
咱们一起说呗
Let's
真先
talk
说
about
起
it
我这儿
together.
正好有一个
What do
网
you
友就
know?
问大概就是这
I
方面的
actually
问
got
题
an online
嗯
friend
对
asking about a
嗯
similar question.
那个要不先给小鹿一份祝
That
福
should we
好
give Xiaolu
有
a
礼物
gift
有
first?
礼物好好送给小鹿一个天珠哈哇哎祝你如
All
意
right,
吉
a
祥
zibit
学
to
业有
Xiaolu.
成
May you be auspicious and be
收到
successful in your studies.
好，有一位网友叫美婷啊，她给
So
师傅写信，她
Mei Ting
问
wrote
说
a letter
师傅
to
好，现在
Master.
城市的
Hello,
孩子和
Master.
农村的孩子
Children
在
growing
各
up
方
in the
面的教
city
育
and
资
the
源
rural
差距
have
太大
completely
了
different
啊，都
access
不
to
同于
every
以前
aspect
80
of
80
education
90年代
resource.
的那个时候了。从师资力
The
量的传
teachers'
输
resources
到
are
城市
different.
家长和
The
农村
parents
家长
from
自身素质的
urban
差距
and rural
以及他们
environments
对孩
also
子的
have
教
very
育重
different
视程度
education
的
and
差别，
upbringing,
再
which
到
affect
孩
how
子
much
从
they
小的
value
见识差距
education.
等各个
The
方面。
children's experience and
城市
other
孩子呢，各
aspects
种
are
课程的
widely slightly different too. Urban children have tutoring classes, talent classes, and get hands-on with high-tech things like robotics and artificial intelligence. But rural children don't have the resources for these classes. classes, and rarely are these programs offered in villages. The grade of rural children who are at the top of their class is lower than the grade of city children who rank in the middle of their class. Master, how can we make up the difference between city and rural children? What's the way out for rural children? Thank you, Master.
这倒是一个很现实的
This
社会
is a
问题。
very realistic
我是发现
social
呢，在
issue.
很多国家都存在着
In
这个
many
城乡的差
countries,
异。
there are
像加拿
differences
大稍微
between
好一点。
the city and
对
the
他
rural
我们在
villages.
前几天去到
Canada is
并不远的
alright.
郊区乡下看，
We
人家
actually
那个环
traveled
境比
to
城市的还好。
the
它那个
rural
管理很类似于城市，
village
但还
in
讲办事
Canada. The environment
环
is
境无
very
论多
good.
美，
However,
它
no
这个乡
matter
村的管理
how
怎样像城
beautiful
市
it
但
is,
毕竟不
no
是
matter how the
你没有
village
接触过
is
三到九流
similar to
啊
the city,
各
it's
种
not the
的
city.
名人聚
You
会
have not
啊，
meet
车水
all
马
type
龙
of people.
你
You
别看这些
haven't
看
experienced
到的
heavy
接触到的
traffic.
经常听到
What
的
you see,
这
what
些
you
信息对于
hear,
一个孩子
these
的这种
information
知识和见识
will
啊是
affect
很有帮助
a
的。
children's will
还有
affect
一个
a
就是
child's
通常很多
knowledge
成
and
绩比较好的人才，
understanding.
尤其是老
And
师也
people
是
who have
因为你的教学成
um,
绩非常好，
so
很多
people
城市
who
之
have
中的
special
甚
talents
至
like
好的学校
like teachers.
公立学校也分很多级别，对不对？
Even if it's
甚至
a
还有私
public
校啊
school, there are
他出
different
更高
types
的工
of
资，请最优秀的老师到他的学校任教。
rankings. These
所以能够
public
留
and
在乡
private
下的
schools
时
will
候，
pay
我
more
不是说
to
乡下老
hire
师不
good
够水平，
teachers.
但是平
And
均成绩就会
teachers
下
who
降。
teach
你
in
就
the
在农
rural
村，你的教
areas
学成绩真的
might
很强的
not
话，
be as
城
good
市
as
的
the
高校一定会
teachers
把你请。
teaching in the city.
所以这样
If
的
you
话
are very
从
good,
教学
then
的
you
质
will
量来说，
probably be hired by
农村
the
孩子吃亏。
schools in the city.
还
And
有家庭
so
环境来说，
in
你
this
没有那么多的见识，
concept, the
你也
rural
吃亏了。
children will
虽然
be
心比较静嘛，
disadvantaged.
但是谋生能力就会弱。
And for
对，
city
这是
children,
自
they
然
are
的现象。
disadvantaged because
那
they
这个
have
问题是，并
less
不是说我们议论说有这个现象，而
skills
是
to
指
make a
那
living.
如果乡下的孩子到城市里
And
头，我们
if
怎
a
样谋
rural
生？
children came to the city, how
谋
can
生
they
之
make
后
a
来缩
living?
小这个城
How
乡
can
孩
they
子的
make a
差距。
living and then
谋生
reduce the
的概
difference
念，
between
尤其
city
是在
and
乡下，
rural
你比如说
children?
在加拿大移
If
民国嘛哈，
you
有
Canada
很
is
多
a
来自
country
于
of
更
immigrants.
贫穷的国
There
家的
are
人，对不对？
many
你的打扮呐，
immigrants
你的
from
收入
less
啊，你的相貌啊，
um,
就是在贫穷国家来的，
from
你能
poor
看出来你
countries,
的
and
营
you
养不
can
良长大。
see that
那么
their
之后到这儿来
see
不
it
可能
from
长得
their
很大，对不对？
appearance.
都是胆子小
See
小的，唯唯
you
诺诺
can
的，
see that
走路不
they
颤
are
抖，
less
你跟他说话都
confident
紧张。
and they
所以
tremble when they
在所谓
speak.
乡下孩子到城市来都一
So
样，
it's the same for
那怎么
rural
样
children
突破
coming
呢？
to the cities. Then
就
how
是
can
一
they
点
break
突
through?
破，
You
就
can
我自己
break
的用
through
词啊，
with
一点
one point.
就是死打一个点突破。
Just focus on one point
啊，
and break
就像
through.
我们打这个石头，
For
很难把它
example,
打开它，
it's
你不用到
difficult
处
to
打，你
crack
打着这一个点打，
a
把
boulder,
铁杵磨成针哈，
and don't
对，
crack,
它
don't
就会
try
有效率了。
hitting
那这
everywhere
个
on the
硬
rock.
点
Just
是什么
focus
呢？
on one point. And what is
就是
that
一个
one
技
point?
术点。
It is one skill.
我先不管你在哪里长大的，
No matter
我
where
问的是，
you
如
grew
果你到
up,
城市来谋生，
if you come to
请
the
问
city to
你
make a
会做
living,
什么？
what do you know?
这个点很重要
What
啊。
can you do? And this is an important point.
因为你想找到这个差别，
Because
你想在城市里谋生，
you found this difference
其实
and
特别
you
简单。
want to find
其实
make a living
简
in
单
the
的不得
city.
了，
It's
就是
very
你一定要
easy.
会点什么。
You have to be good at one
是
skill.
城市的人或者是机构能
Whether
用得到的。
it is a skill that people living in the city or organization in the cities can
你想
use.
太多技术了，
There are
在
so
不同
many
行业之
skills
中，
in different
有太多技
industries.
术了。
There are many different type of skills.
比如说城市之
For
中
example, in the
永
city,
远永远不败的话题，就房地产。
the
房地产永
the
远都卖得
a
那么好，
very hot
请问需不
topic
需要
is
建筑
real
工人
estate. If real
要
estate
啊，
is
那么一个
always
建筑工
a
地，尤其是
hot
现代化
topic,
建筑
then
工地，它
is
需要多
constructor
少种
needed?
有技术不同的技
How
术，
many type of constructor
至少有几十
skill
种
sets are
几十
needed?
种不同的技术职业
Over
来
tens
配合，
of special
是吧？你看盖一
skills.
栋楼，今天不管
If you want to
在加拿大你
build
用
a
水泥盖
building, whether you're building
还是
it
用木头
with
钉那个
concrete or
房子是吧
wood.
那别墅很多都是木头钉起来的，
Many of the houses are
里头
made
有
by wood.
水泥铸造，
There are
地库那一块儿
打
地
地
基
the foundation
全都是
is
用水泥
built
铸造
by
那
concrete,
铸造的很精美的，
and it's
还有
木工。
木工、
and also carpenters,
水管工。水管工
plumbers.
分两种，
There are two
一种
types
就
of
是
plumbers.
自来水喝
The
水
first
洗
one
澡水
is
是吧
drinking
这
water.
种就是来下水，
What
排水。
and
这
also
些都是有专业的，在国外做这些事儿都是叫专业的。还有一个必须要需要的电
and
工，
also drainage.
你这楼
and
房里拉那个
We
电
need
线呐
special
插头
people,
啊那些地方
special
装灯啊
workers for
都
these.
是需要
And
这个
also
电工
electrician.
来给你设计的
Electrician
啊
is needed
所以电工
to
再加上分
design your
ABCD 这个
electricity.
级别，
And
你像 A 级
an
就非常
electrician
高
is ranked
年收
from
入
A
都
to
应
D
该
in
超过20
Canada.
万
A
都很
ranking
高的了
electrician
你生活更
has
有
a
无忧
very high
那这个
salary.
又从所谓白领蓝领来说，它算
And
什么
from
呢？
white collar and blue
算蓝
collar,
领
what color are
算蓝
they?
领
They
但是
are
高收入
a blue collar
白
with
领也
high
不会超过
pay,
他多少。
and
就是
a
这样。
white collar wouldn't exceed
哎。
his pay by too
还
much.
有呢，
What else?
你这个房子弄好了，你的维护呢？
When
哎，
the house is built,
我
do
原
you
来
need
插
to
这个插头
maintain
儿，
it?
我的吹风机能响。
Oh,
我
when I
现在插半
plug
天不响，它什
my
么都不亮，
blow
它头发
dryer
也不
in,
亮。
it will start to
就这个
work.
插头，
But
我必
this
须把它
plug,
修好。
this electricity
那你又
plug
不懂，
is not
那
working,
请电工来
and
看
I
一
need
看，修
to
一修
find
是吧？
someone to fix it, right?
对，
You
还有
need to
家电
hire
维修，
an
还有
electrician. You
家里
might
的电力
need
的
to hire
这个维修。
hire a
啊，
home
什么
electronic
洗碗
repair
机，机器越
repair.
多，坏的越多。
The more
啊，估计
equipment
你
you
看你们
have
家都有什么
at
与
home,
电相关的
the
机器？
more
哎呦，
repairs you
空
might
调
need.
首先哈
Air
空调
conditioner,
对，然后是洗衣机、
uh,
洗衣机、电的
laundry washer,
电冰箱、
refrigerator,
洗碗机。
还有
dishwasher,
碎骨机，
and
碎骨
also
机、
a
烤
sink
箱、
incinerator,
对，
微波
the
炉。
oven,
微波炉，
the
对。
microwave,
还有锅炉。
and
还
also
有
the
在这里
boiler.
它这个自己洗澡水
And
和发热
also
的东西有自己一个锅炉，
锅炉，对
Many
很先进的
houses
锅
have
炉。
their own boiler
这
room.
些都需要人修。
These all
每一个
needs
你住这个房
repairment.
子，这
If
一
you
一家
live
里头
in
说
this
没找过人
house,
修过这一年，
It's very
几乎是
rare
不可能。
that a house doesn't find
户外
anyone
花
to
园里还有
repair
整
in a
整个那
year.
个浇花
And
的
also
那套系
in
统
the
那个洒水
gardens, the
系统。
对
irrigation
系统
system.
它经常坏，
And it
那个
breaks
喷
very
成塑料
often
的，
because
割草的人那个
the
土块
the
咔咔
spray
就把那个头儿给削
the
掉。
spray hose
再喷水就
is
变成水管冒
plastic. And
这个棒棒。
sometimes when
买那喷头儿
the
30块一个，
the
找人一
gardener
修
comes
就
in,
150
when they mow the lawn, they will break
就是这
the
样。
sprinkler.
然
And
后
if
来
you
修的人
find
他们
someone to
你也
fix
不容
it,
易
it's
打开，
$150.
等他巴拉巴拉看看说有6个
They
坏
will
的，
look
都需
at
要
it
换。
and say that, oh, 6
就是
is
这样。
broken and you need to change
哎，
them all.
在城市中，家庭
And
里
that's how
所
it
有的
is.
电器
In
的
the
修理
city, all
都
the
其实很贵，
electronic equipment
这些修
repair
理
is
工
very expensive.
非常的贵，
These repairmen, they
就是
are
年收入
rich.
远
Their
远超过10万美金，
yearly salary is
远远
over
超过。这是大家所不想听的，也不爱听
over
的。那都是修
100,000
理才能
US
睡得不着，
dollars
都是拿现
because
金，
they
就是这么牛。你跟他打
because
电话，
oh sorry
你说他
over
慢一点他跟你挂，
$10,000.
他有的是活儿。
Um,
那个马桶，
because you pay them cash
马
and
桶多简
a
单
lot
呢，
some of them they don't
哎，
pay tax.
对不对？他来一趟先给70，
And you call
那不
them
管有没给
over,
弄通，
say that it's a plumber
哎
to
他经常道德不好的，你那管子没坏，他说
you
坏
call
了，
a
我给你换个
plumber,
新
say
管
that your
你
bathroom
作为家庭
is
妇女哪懂这个？
clogged,
好吧，换吧换
and
吧，
you
1
call
小
them
时
to
就好。
come over, they will charge
他
you
是赚钱的，
$70
全
up
不管他
front.
道不道德，
And then
所以
whether they
这
can
些都
fix
是
it
大
or
家
not,
需
they
要的
charge
行业，
another 600.
是吧？
But these are
在台
all
湾有一天
careers,
登了个报纸，后
industries
来
that
电视台介
everybody
绍，
needed.
一
So
个
in
建筑
there's
工
a
人
story
老
in
师傅，
Taiwan. There's a
啊，
construction
这4
worker.
年收到4到6个徒弟，
He
现在不
had
行了，
4 to
全跑了。
6 new
那么
he
他
took
在
in
台
6
湾
new students
给
in
他
1
去做
year.
这个学徒，
And
打
now
工，
that he's old,
这
all
一个
these
月给这
students
些
ran
给这样
away.
的徒弟给多少钱呢？
And when these students are learning from him, how
好
much
像
does
是那
he
个办公
pay
室
to
小白领
each
那种的
student?
好几倍，是不是？
他们一个月
They
平
pay
均拿到
On
4000美金以
average,
上。
they're paid for
4000美金以上。
$4,000 US dollars.
台湾
很好嘞。
正常一点的，
In
好一点的大学
Taiwan,
毕业生才多少钱？1000块钱
A。graduate from
对，
a good
上完大学就
university
1000
will only get 1,000 US dollar per month. And these students learning construction from that experienced construction worker, they don't have any diploma and they're getting paid for $4,000, and they run away because they can't find a girlfriend. So they can only find apprentices from even lower income countries. And some Taiwanese will say that these are jobs for rural villagers and they won't do it. And only people who are only Taiwanese people from the villages and who are not confident, they will be persuaded by their parents to learn construction. And so we're talking about what career can make a living without a good diploma. For example, there's also bakers. You can make cakes, bread. They can make a fortune out of it. So you don't need to begin with a high education. As long as you can read, then you can learn. And also mobile phone repair, auto mechanic repair. It's not cheap to repair mobile phones, and everybody has a mobile phone. And when you drop your phone in the water, it doesn't show anything, and you can't see anything. You need to take it to a repairman. And also, auto mechanic, Uli, can you repair your own vehicle? No, I rely on them. Although I graduated from university, I don't dare to open up my hood and fix it myself. So I have to learn it. It's very expensive to fix a car in Canada. And also, what's more expensive is aircraft mechanic. Aircraft repairman is very expensive. For example, repairing aircraft generator is the most expensive, and there are different aircraft parts that you can specialize in. And it sounds very challenging, but you don't need to be a university graduate. You can just go to a technical college and learn a diploma from there. I remember like before, when some children are brought in to see master by their parents, master recommended these children to learn to repair. And also there's elevator repairman. There's so many high rises. There's a lot of elevators now. And also carpenters and blacksmiths. So what do blacksmiths do? Blacksmiths can do welding. They make iron or metal parts. When we were renovating, we actually found a blacksmith to make a metal gate. There's also welders too. Welders for iron, for bronze. And if you can do a good job of it, many people appreciate a good welder. And also delivery service. Really, this one doesn't have any skills needed. And in North America, we are very careful about people's health and safety. And so there's also garbage truck drivers, and traffic safety officers. And so people who are hired to direct traffic. And these are not police officers. These are just people hired by construction company to redirect the traffic at their construction site. These people have a very good pay too.
也很高，对，而且还挺缺，就大家不
and
愿意干。
and it's
所以嘛不
and
这
it's
个
a
它是要
job that's
风
always
风吹日晒
that's always
对
hiring
对
because people don't
啊
want
那
to
其实
do
就
this
是
job
只要你愿意
because
吃
you're
这个苦
always
嘛，你
working
想
under the
谋生
sun
嘛
and
哈
rain.
其实机会是
If
有的
you want to make a
对
living
那
and
这
work
些都
this
是
job, you do
我
have
们统一说都是动
opportunities.
手的哈，
And
这个
these
行业
are
动手吃饭的。
对
these
动
are
手吃饭
work
嗯
that needs your
那另外还
hands.
有一大类就是靠动嘴
There's
吃
another
饭的
type of
接下来动嘴
work
吃饭的有什么？
就不需
is
要大学的学历
once
就
that
通
you
过一些
use
训练
your
就可以上岗的，应该也不
language.
错的。
You
比如
don't
说
need
卖保
a
险的呀
university
啊
diploma,
卖
but you
这个
just
银行的
need
有
some
一些
training.
有一些
For
投资产
example,
品
an
的呀
insurance
对
agent.
它也不是说一定
financial
要考到多
products.
高的那个的，反正就告诉
You
你
don't
有
have
这么
to
一个
have a
一个
very
一个
high
一个
diploma.
套餐，你就去卖。
对，
哎就是
You
这样
are
子
trained
对，还
how
有那卖
to
物卖
sell
房地产
these
的呀，对吧？
these
这些售
packages.
楼的
There's also real
包括卖
estate
各种东西的。
agents
销
and
售
people
人对
who
销售人员
and
那都
basically
是
people who
对
do
那
sales.
这个当然也是要有一点自己的
And
这
of
个
course, you need to have
天生的这个
some
哈，你要
of
非特
your
别木讷，
natural
见谁一说
you
话
need
都
to
打
be
哆嗦也不行，就
natural
看能
at
不能
it.
训练得
If
出来
you
的
are very
对，就靠嘴吃饭嘛。还有一个
very
靠
scared
嘴
to
吃
talk to people,
说
then
脱口
you can be
秀
trained
啊
for it.
对，
那
And
就
also
典型的
stand up
靠嘴吃
comedians
饭
讲笑
too.
话，
对，
People
讲
who
到
tell
国际知名
jokes.
也是富豪。
这个比
If
较
they
少
can make
这
it
样
onto
对
the
可能是比较
international
少的
stage,
比较
they'll
难
be
对
但是在
very
行业中
wealthy
靠嘴
too.
吃饭的哈，
In
几
many
乎所有做
industries,
销售的都是靠嘴吃。
对，是这样。对
almost all the
卖
sales
啥
they can make
哎
a
有个
living
好
with
好人
their
缘儿面善哎又
with their
能
language,
够
with
讲
their
哎比
words.
较合情合理啊。
You need
卖
to
房卖车卖保险卖
look
车啊卖基金。
there's
对
also
对
people who sell
卖啥的都
卖
行
houses,
对
保健品
cars,
哎
首
um,
饰、衣服是吧？
是
都是靠
financial
说话
products, jewelries, clothing. It's all
那这
about
些也是
communication.
不一定非要都有
And
多高
for
的学历的
these ones, you don't need to
都是一
have
条
a very
出路。
你
high
比如说在加拿大、美国
university
就是
degree.
卖房那个执
In
照啊
Chi-
就是
in
有一个
Canada
地产
and
经纪
United
我们所
States,
说的
for
那个
a
他学历
real
要求
estate
不高
agent,
好像有一
you
条
don't
考
you are
虑
not
就行
required
就是
to
你一定要
have a
找人补
diploma.
着
You
补着
just
把你
have
考过
to
去
pass
就可以
the agent
啊
the
你比如说
test to
在
become
加拿
an
大
agent.
考个
For example,
并
in
不是很高级
Canada,
的电工吧，
if
你
you
得有
want
那
to
个
become
证
a
件
welder,
对，
你考不
you
上那个
need
证件
to
不行
go
那
for
个
a
测试要过关
certificate
这些都
test.
是要凭证上岗。
通常的
Oh,
话，如果
most
通过
of the
1年的
jobs
学
here
习
requires a
大约就能
certificate.
考过了。
And after
考
learning
过去之
for
后
about
那
a
个
year,
公司
you
呢
will be
一
able
个小
to
时
pass
几
the
十块
test.
钱
对，
And
而
afterward,
且就
you
像
will
是
be
不是
paid
越老越
for
值钱，
um,
你经验越来越丰富
tens
嘛。
of
对
dollars
对，特别
every
贵。
对
for
然后
every
就口
hour
碑
you
相
work.
传只要你
And
对人和善
the
啊，
more
收
years
获就
you
越
are
来越
in
多
this
的。
job, the more
技术能力
you are
强一点，说
paid,
话客气一
and
没
点，
错，
这个
you
活
will
儿
be
干不了
recommended to other jobs
就不
too.
会失业。
对。
And there will be a
对
lot of jobs
所以
for
可
you.
能
You
就是
won't
说要农村的
lose
孩
your
子呢
job.
就是第一代进城的是比较
So
辛苦一
rural
点。那
children,
么真的是
when
就
if
通过
you are
这
the
些努
first
力哈，先
generation
学
to
习有
go
一技
and
之
make a
长
living in the
在手
city, it will
哎
be
一
more
技放
difficult
身，那
and
么能
challenging
够
for
安
you.
定下来
But if
那
you
以
have
后的
one
后代啊
skill
慢慢地
to
就
help
融
you
入
to
到
make
城
a
市之中
living,
了。
对
then
教
your
育环
future
境就好
generations
了。
will be
对
able to
行业
blend
之中
into
呢
the city
宏观的
life.
行业，刚才说先开始
There
动
are
手的
many,
第二种是动嘴
in
的，动
generally,
嘴以销售
we
为主
first
是
talked
那
about
还有一种就
hands-on
是动
job,
脑，
and
就是那
jobs
更
require
高的就是医
communication,
生
and
啊，
also
哦，那那个就是
mental
可能
works.
要
For
让
example,
对
更高的
doctors,
专科，
lawyers,
是吧？
对
甚至在这个政府行政
and
人员
also
啊，
对
government,
高级管理者啊，
um,
是吧？
people who
教授
work
啊，
in
学业
government
背景就要求
offices.
高了。
他那个
And
要求是
then
高
they
的。
require
我
a
们说这个
slightly bit
社
of
会谋生的三
university
个大
degree.
类，
大类，
And so
嗯
these
对
are
不对？
three
但是
general
动脑的不
types
安全在哪里啊？
of
你动脑，如果你不是那么聪
work that
明，
you can make a
你投
living.
上那个行
If
业，如
you
果也是
are,
入
if your
行也
brain
分
is
行业
not
的，
very
如果行
intelligent.
不对，你可能也不能获得成就，对不对？哎，所以经常就是说，
So
有时候
usually,
动脑的也还不如动手的，
usually
因为它有
people
技术
who
性。
depend on
哎，
their
有技术含量。
brain
就
may
什么时候
not
你重要生活，就要
do
生活
better than
可
people
能
who
需要我
depend
们
on
来
their
维护维修
hands.
之类的。
Because
啊，所以
everybody
就是
is living,
有动手
and
能力，
as
有
long
这
as
技术
you are
含量
living
的
in this world,
谋
you
生保证不是
will
问
need
题，
a
所以
repairman.
也不需要那么
And
高的
if
学历。
you can
啊，
use your
我觉得
hands
包括那
to
个正
work,
骨科
then
需要的学历也不太高。
then you can make a
啊，对，
living.
这都是
And
大家的出
also,
路。
I think the
嗯，
traditional Chinese chiropractors, they don't need a very high
在未来的
degree.
我们菩提机构的发展之中，说不定
And
还会
also
有
in
这
Bodhi
个医院或
meditations,
者中医院的出现哈。对，
organization development, there might also be traditional Chinese clinic or doctors, and also these doctors are very appreciated. So we've already given Xiaolu a gift. Did we? Yes, we did. And this is Mei Ting, who asked about rural and urban children. So these rural children, if you can grasp one skill, if you can master one skill, then you can be successful too. You can make as great a living as city children. Then it doesn't matter where you grew up in. So don't be shy. Don't feel inferior, and maybe transform that feeling into your motivation. And this is a good question. How about the I'll give her a mala for Mei Ting. I wish you health, longevity, and auspiciousness. Master, there is another question from he is from Hong Kong and learned music. Dear Master, I am Li Neng from Hong Kong. My son's name is Lu Weixian, and he's 21 years old. After graduating from high school in Hong Kong, he studied music for 2 years in Taiwan. Earlier this year, he dropped out and came back to Hong Kong. He worked an unstable job every Wednesday. He lost his future and don't know how to plan it. He wishes to receive Master's guidance, plan his future, and become a useful person. Thank you, Master. So Li Neng is the parent, and he's asking this question for his son. So Xiaolu learned music in Taiwan, and he has returned to Hong Kong before graduation. Because it didn't clearly state why he went back to Hong Kong. Was he depressed, or did he run into some sort of obstacle? And in this situation, let me take a guess. Maybe it's useful to you, maybe it's not. Say, when you left Taiwan and you're not studying music, why were you not happy in Taiwan? Or you don't like music? Or you don't like studying music? And for young children, before attending university, 3 years before you attend university, you should have a goal in mind, which industry you want to go to, which career you want to have. If you study music, is it a musical instrument? If you are very good at certain aspect in music, you might be accepted by a band or by a music company and become an artist. Maybe this is one of the best way out. Many people listen to music maybe on their mobile phone or on a disc, and so there's fewer live performances. Also, it is a career, but it's a minor career. And since you have learned it for 2 years already, you should finish it, because when you're trying to find a job, that diploma is important. That college or university graduation certificate is important. For any reason that you have dropped out, at that moment, dropping out is easy, and I just don't want to continue. But when you go to find a job without a certificate or diploma, how do they know that you're good at it? You could perform it, but when they look at you, they can see an amateur. They might be looking for someone who actually graduated from studying music. And for many people, their success, they can success because they have endurance. And it's not just for children, but also for middle age and elders. Many people's success, it's not because they're intelligent or wise, it's because they have endurance and determination. And this endurance is admirable. We've seen a video. There was a video of the international competition of running, and there was an athlete. He fell and injured himself, and he continued to run limping. And his father came down to the running field and supported him to walk to the end of the line. He probably didn't become a champion or the first three, but in people's heart, this is the Olympic spirit. This is endurance in times of pain and suffering. And this type of people, even if he doesn't become an athlete, many organizations will want to hire him because he will be loyal and he will endure a lot of things. When your muscles are torn, it's very painful. So many people's success are not because of their intelligence or wisdom. It's because they have endurance. So I hope that this child from Hong Kong, if you have learned music, if you really love it, continue to study it until you have mastered it at an advanced level. If you become a music teacher, you have to be able to make a living for yourself. Your parents are growing old, and you have to support yourself and them. And so you have to be filial, kind, be responsible. And so that you can use it to make a living. You can teach students or tutor others. Tutoring can make a lot of money because many people want their children to have a talent. Probably in Hong Kong, each tutoring session is over $50 US. So you should study it well. This is your way out since you have already picked this studies and continue it. If you don't continue it, then when you're tutoring others, you might not feel you have enough ability, and you might feel incapable, and it's not enough to make a performance. And your parents will be worried for your future. So I hope that you can make up for your study. And I want to give you a gift so that you can study better. And I hope to listen to your performance in the future. All right, I'll give you a mala. May Buddha protect you. I wish you wish fulfillment and finish your study of music.
收到。好，那还有一个个人成长的哈，对。
There's another sharing. Dear Master, my name is Xu Yichun. I am from Singapore and I'm 34 years old. I'm married for 3 years. I plan to have children in the future and I'm satisfied with my marriage. I am an engineer working for the Singapore Air Force for 12 years and I'm in mid-level management. My parents were divorced when I was 13 years old. My younger sister and I were raised by our mom until we became independent. my in all these years, my mom loved and favored my sister more than me. It's difficult for me to communicate with her. She has her own opinion and doesn't listen to others' advices. Currently, I've moved out and I'm living with my wife in a rental place. Sometimes we have dinner with my mom and sister. We have a good relationship. I am not a very confident person. Sometimes it's difficult for me to make decisions in life and at work. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed by other people's comments. Currently, I'm studying for an electronic engineering degree in university, so I'm working and studying at the same time. I hope to have a better future through job promotion and better pay. My mother-in-law is deeply respectful of you and follows you. In these days, he came to Singapore for vacation. She looked at my face and said that I have good facial features, but my eyes are now bright and lack determination. My question is how to improve my gaze and increase confidence to improve my work and life. How to is my job good? Is my job good for me and my future? Should I find another job after the electrical engineer graduation? So this is a question from Mr. Xu. I've seen his picture. He is an intelligent person, and he has a very good career, and he has some success from it. I think his intelligence and endurance are very good. I just want to remind you that so you want to improve your confidence, then just come and walk energy Bagua. You mentioned your gaze. Just come and walk energy Bagua. It's all about energy. And for your future, I suggest that you should read the new. You should study. You should continue to study electronic engineering. Don't give up, and afterward you will know what to do. I want to remind all our young online friends. In the past, in military conflicts, when they have when they plan for their strategy, they always have backup strategies. And in the ancient times, when people compete their martial arts abilities, it's a life or death situation. It's not just for show. And so when you need to use your skill, your life depends on it. Say that they're using a long stick, but when you're not careful, they use their hands, because on their hand is a deadly poison, and if their hand touches your face, then you will be poisoned. So the more skill, the more method you have, then the more you can protect and save your life. And for example, chefs. So the head chef, and compared to their assistants, the people who wash the vegetables, they're looking at the chef all the time. Would they learn the chef's skill? But from what I know, these chefs, some of the chefs will make their secret recipe away from all the other people. Say that if they are making a braised duck, they use a special mixture of spices, and this is their master skill, and it becomes their skill to make a living. And also, so these martial arts protect to protect your life, but these life skills can protect can make sure that you have a way to make a living.
或者是找
So
到的
people,
是
whether
所
you're
谓公家机关里工作
whether you
是吧
already have a
比如说
job,
军工教
whether you
到
work
政府
in
职员
military sector,
等等
public
这公务员
sector,
级的
or
很多人以为这种
education
端到就是
sector,
铁饭碗
they
金饭碗
might say that, oh, I already have a golden job.
嗯
But you're
在当
wrong.
今这个社会
In the
大家
modern
都在这个世界
society,
都在竞赛之中
the world
就算
is
是你是
in
公务员
competition.
你有
Even
可
so,
能会被
if
排
you
挤
are
比如说你
a
表达不力
public
能力不够
servant,
都可
if
能
you
被排除
cannot
了
express
所以
yourself,
让你在那
or
很痛
if you don't
对不
have,
对
if
你就需
you're
要
not
多两
capable
招功
enough,
夫来
then
支撑自
you
己
will
对，
be
压身的。
fired. And so
它
you
你
need
所
more
会的东
skills
西叫做
to
艺
make
叫做技
yourself
能
more
啊
competitive.
技能跟你身体不会带来负担
Whatever you
但是只能给
know
你
how
带
to
来更多
do,
的
that
快乐
is
和
your
自信
skill.
对
That
所
skill
以你
will
不
not
自
give you
信
pressure,
很
but
多
it
是
will
因
give
为
you
功夫
confidence.
不如人
Many
所
people
以
they
你
are
才
not
不自信
confident
所以你
because
看见敌
they
人就
don't
哆嗦
have
是不是啊
they're
就
not
我
as
我能
capable
强大
as
我有
their
10招都
enemies.
可以要命的
Say
功夫
that
我见
I
你
have
那
great
你比我
martial
多还
arts.
差
I
不多
have
我哆嗦什么
10 types
对不对
of martial
所以你
arts
就有
that
自信
can beat other
所以
people
这个
up.
徐先生的一边
So
工作
Mr. Xu,
工作的不
he
错
is
他一边进修
working
更
and
新的知
studying
识
at the same
我
time.
太佩服
He
你
has
了
a good
对
job
很
and
有上
he's
进心的一
studying
个年轻
a
人。
他
brand
做的很
new
对
是
对
如果
new
在按师傅的教导
knowledge.
哈，在网
And
络上
I
或者去新
admire
加坡
you.
禅堂学习八卦内功，
If
走个
you
那个
learn from
100
Master
天
online
日筑
or
基
if
然后再
you
邀请你的岳
learn
母再来
Energy
新加坡
Bagua
看
at
看
the
你，
Singapore
我估计那时候岳
center,
母的
if you
感觉
practice
是
for
评价是不一
100
样的。
days,
对
your
而且你
mother-in-law,
多走八
when
卦
she
哈
sees you
多走
again,
八卦你的
she'll
能
give
量
you
足了之
a
后
completely
除了你
different
学得好 定力足还特别有利于生宝宝
对嘛，他
different
正准备也准备在要宝宝嘛。
你最大的准备应该是先把
opinion
这个能量培养起来
for you.
这个宝宝才能
And
健
if you
康
work Energy Bagua for 100 days, it's
那有
also
些人
good
在
for
南方嘛，吃
pregnancy.
冰冷的东西太多
Many
就是
people
白忙活
from the
这就
southern
不怀孕
regions, they
是吧
eat a lot
所
of
以你一
cold
定要
food.
是吧
And
你要
with that
你要
cold
有那个
food,
能量
it's not
这个能
suitable,
量
it's not
就是
beneficial
啊
to
这个元
pregnancy.
气哈
And so
把
you
元气
need
补
to
足
have
它
this energy,
补
this
足元
vital
气能生
energy.
宝宝的能
Once
量
you
就是八卦内
replenish
功
this
啊
energy,
最
then
好
it will
和
help
太太一起因为他
you
俩是
with
妇产科学
pregnancy.
嘛
那俩人一起
And
走八
you
卦
and your
呗
wife
这
can
样这
come
才
and
是
practice
真正的
Energy
是
Bagua
在备
together.
孕嘛。
对
Then
啊
you're
这是备孕
truly
最好的
getting
方式
prepared
在
for
新加坡禅
pregnancy.
堂啊
对，
So
哎也会
contact
贴出
our
新加
center
坡禅
at
堂的联络方法
好好去走
contact
八
our
卦
Singapore
以后
center
生的宝宝
and
又健
go
康
and
又好
work
带
Energy
对
Bagua.
聪明
Then
可好
your
了
baby
就好
will
好修吧
be
啊
对
can be
看
raised
这两个人还
easily.
不错哈
对，难得
两口
他也对婚姻很满意，
嗯
这样的话
And
好好经营
he's
自己的
he's
婚姻跟
actually
事
very
业
happy
啊
about
多
his
好啊，以后
marriage.
一家人
And
太太
if
特别
he
喜欢他你
can
能看得出来
you
哈
can see
是
how
有
much
感
his
的
love his
而且丈母娘也
wife
喜欢
loves
啊
him.
没错，
And
更好
also his
啊
你们的
mother-in-law
关
love
系
him
很融
too.
合哈
You
对
guys have a
当
very
然你我也
harmonious
希望你把你妈
relationship.
孝敬好
And I hope that you
对
will
她
take
离
good
婚带
care
俩孩
of
子养大
your
也不
mother
容易
too.
是
It's not easy for her
好
to
真
get
是感恩
divorced
师傅
and
不客气
raise two children on
那
her
我们应该
own.
也有礼物哈
好啊
Shall we give him a gift?
他两口的
两口子
So
一个
the
都给
the
都给
two
呃
of him, the two of them.
衣服吧
How about the
新加坡
t-shirts?
现在凉快了没有啊
Is Singapore
难得
does Singapore has cooler
凉快
temperature
了
now?
今天31度啊
Yes, it's 31 degrees today.
嗯好两件衣服
All right,
这
two
个是八卦
t-shirts.
衫啊
Two
又透气又
t-shirts
凉
for
快
them.
啊
You can wear it
这个看看
for Energy Bagua.
嗯
And this
对要
one
符合
has medicine Buddha on
对
it.
非常可爱哈
It's very cute.
让佛光普照
I hope
嗯
Buddha's
参加
light
如
will
意吉祥啊
illuminate you
收到
and may
感恩师
your
傅
family be auspicious.
师傅，
嗯
那我们还有一些青年的网友也是问，他就是说
Some
呢
of our
他估
online
计机构
friend
一直
is
在利益着大
asking
众哈，他家里有很多
is
家
this
人
question
也都是
says
因为健康问题来到
Bodhi
菩提以后
meditation
受益了
has been
所
helping
以
many
他就会
people,
觉得对我们
and
机构
his
很向
family
往
came
很
and
想来到
benefited in
就
their
是
health.
毕业之后
And
啊，大学毕
so
业之后来到我们机
he,
构工
this
作，
person really really wants to come and work for Bodhi after graduating from university. And he wants to ask Master, if I want to benefit people like Master does, how should I prepare myself? For example, should he pick a certain study or certain skills to prepare for this goal? Oh, I'm so happy to see this question.
就是 这个问题是个非常好的问题。
Master says this is a good question. And we're in graduation season right now. Many people after graduation, they first face first they're jobless and then they try to find a job. If you come to Bodhi Meditation to work, any study, anything you study can be used here. Because we use the general knowledge that you have learned through your adulthood when you're growing up. If you only learn Buddhism, then you might walk on astray on this path. And so I welcome anyone with any degree. And there are many young adults working at Bodhi Meditation. There are 20 to 30 young adults working here and also at various Bodhi Meditation centers. And I truly welcome them. Many people, even before they got into university, at least 20 of them have asked me, Master, if I want to benefit all the sentient beings, what degree should I get? And the child who asked me this question, I know that she is not a numbers person. She's more into arts and philosophy. So I advise her to learn philosophy, social studies, and general religious studies. So these general degrees, and even if she changes her idea and doesn't want to come to Bodhi to work, can she find a job in society? Yes, she can. But I think the best job is at Bodhi Meditation. You're not answering my question. If they don't come to work at Bodhi Meditation, they can only find a job in the government agencies. And that is good too. Jujun says that's good, but I still suggest them to come to Bodhi. If you want to turn the question around, if you turn around, change your direction, then there are many jobs for you. Whether you can find a job, it's written in your fate. But whether you can do well in that career, it depends on your vow. So really, about your faith and vow. And so if you want to come to Bodhi Meditation, then if you are good at arts, that's what I would suggest you. But what if you are good at numbers? There's coding, there's software development, there's animation, movie production. And also in live stream, we need many of these skills. No matter what you are studying, we welcome everyone. For example, say that something that's not related, say that if you study agriculture, they can do very well in our they can do very well here too. And when you come to Bodhi Meditation, you're learning from Master. And when you're learning from Master, no matter what you have learned, it's okay. We can start from zero. But it's your ability to learn that is very important. And also, Zeng To asked that after university, when you walk into the society, you're like a blank piece of paper. And the university has trained you on your learning habit and your ability to learn. So in the future, no matter what industry you get into, you still have the skills and habits to learn the knowledge, the skills in that industry. And also, if you come to Bodhi Meditation, some people might say that, oh, this is a traditional cultivation methodology. Why do you need so many modern technologies? We actually encompass many different careers. It's your understanding understanding of Tao, of nature, and you can use it in many aspects of life. So I hope that the young people who are recruited, who are hired, you have the university degree so that you have a habit of learning, so that when I'm teaching you, you can comprehend it easily. Some parents wants to send their children here, and I ask them, what can they do? What do they know? They say that they don't know anything. They can't even pass their tests. If you don't know anything, then the sentient beings are helping you. You need to have a skill to benefit other sentient beings. If you're just thinking about it in your mind, then there's no use. You have to have a skill. You have to be able to do something. Your university degree will prove that you have the ability to learn and that you can comprehend what I teach. Xiangke, can I give you a microphone? Let me ask you, when you came in these years that you have came to Bodhi Meditation, this is an awkward question, but just tell the truth. Have you learned anything from me? Master, I've learned a lot in many different aspects. Do you like what you have learned? Yes, I do. Is it useful? Yes, they're very useful. Before, I saw that in university or in society, nobody will teach you this way. Nobody will teach you earnestly. So first, what I teach is very practical. Whether you go into management, or if you go to other companies to work, I trust that you will become an elite in no time. And my teaching is a daily enhancement. And I think Master teaches the way to success, but we don't say it this way. But if you go back to the society, you will be able to be successful, because the values that Master teach is very right, and it's at a very high standard. And Master teach these profound things simply, and so it's easy to grasp, and you will be cultured by it. And it's not just about a successful career, but also success in all aspects of life, whether it's family or children. And it really cultivates your life goal that you want to benefit all sentient beings. I want to help others. I'm not just working to benefit myself. In my life, my view of life, I want to benefit others. And I think this is a very good person, good talent. And here you will learn many knowledge about being a good person. Say that if you want to do something and you want to be successful, how can you gain that success? And after you are successful, how do you view your success and control your mind so that you're not arrogant? Also, you started at a low point. How do you not feel inferior? And so including communication skills or persuasive skills. We don't train for these things explicitly. And it's a gradual process. And you have a well-rounded growth, development. So it's not like in the Han Dynasty, there was a general. His name is General Huo Qubing, because his uncle is the emperor, and the emperor wants to defeat the enemies. So he trained Huo Qubing into a murderous general, and so he trained him into a sharp sword. And the truth is that Huo Qubing was very good at fighting, but because he wasn't cultured and educated, he became very arrogant and he killed people at his will, and he killed the child of a very important and appreciated government official for no reason and embarrassed the emperor. The father of that child didn't died for the country, and the emperor praised this father, but you were unhappy and you killed that person's child, and the emperor didn't know what to do, and so he fired that general and sent him away, and on his way to Sichuan, a very distant, far region, he couldn't stood what happened, so he died from his own emotions. Because he was very narrow-minded, and he was always praised by his uncle, and so when he was beaten by his uncle, he couldn't take it, so he died on his way. He was too simple-minded, and he was only specialized in one skill, and that's why he became a person like this. He did very good on the battlefield, but it's not good for his life. So his uncle harmed him. Also, he had the skill. He didn't have the morals, the ethics. He didn't know that when he killed this child, the child of the most renowned government official, how much trouble he would have brought to his uncle. So he didn't know how to be a good person. So as my disciple, I will not teach just one aspect to you, how you can learn visual reading and gain wealth from it. I will not do that, because you will do things wrong and embarrass and cause harm to yourself and me. I will teach you so that you have great skills and a broad mind, and you will be a humble person without arrogance, and you will not be emotional for praises or scoldings. And this is how I teach people. I don't want to teach you something very quick, and when you leave, you will not be successful. Gui Guzi has 2 children, and Gui Guzi has 2 students, and these 2 students, after leaving Gui Guzi, they fought in opposition to each other and caused thousands of people's lives, and it brought embarrassment to their teacher, to Gui Guzi. But it's also Gui Guzi's responsibility, as he only taught them military strategy but not morals and ethics. But maybe it's not Gui Guzi's. Maybe it's not his responsibility, but Pang Juan was not a very good person, and because he had the mind to harm other people, he harmed himself, others, and harmed his teacher's reputation. And so I hope that young children who come to work, if you come to Bodhi Meditation and help benefit sentient beings, this is something that will make your life feel happiness and will make you feel proud for yourself. If your mind will be full of happiness, then our life is meaningful. If we only do it to make a living, to buy a car, buy a house, yes, you can do it, but what's the meaning? And it's just mundane, and it's not helpful to the society. And if you are in this world, I hope that you can serve your purpose serve your help this world and help this society.
你没有预防情况下，你不要
And
去干这活儿。
sometimes I will surprise our disciples when they're not prepared. I'll ask them to do something and see whether they are smart, whether they
这都是
can
在训
endure
练
it, whether
如
they
果
are
仅训练一个
honest.
技巧，说实在话，1个月就让你毕业。
If I'm just training you a skill, then you can graduate in a month, and with that skill, you
我
can
这
make a
5、6
living.
年能毕业就不错了，
But here,
挺难
when
的。
you're studying with
否则你
me,
会夭折。
you might not be able to graduate
所以呢，
for
来补习
after
机构的
5 to
小朋
6
友呢，你
years.
做好准备
Otherwise,
哈
you might
在这儿学到的不是一点点东西。
you might not
但
make
是
it
补习机构
through.
的工作人员，
So
他分若干个层
young
次，
children, if you're
到我身
coming,
边来学
you
习
will
和做
not
事，
just
这是一
learn
个
a
层次。
little thing.
我要求的你更
There
层
are
次更优
different
秀。
levels of
还有
work.
我们菩提
You
禅
can
各
work
地那么多禅堂，
by my
都是
side,
也是
and I
非
want
常
you to
欢
be
迎年轻的
honest.
朋友的加入
And
啊
also,
也
many
是到处去了
of
之后
our
你一样会学
meditation
习。
centers
也
also
一样让
welcome
你提升。
young
有
adults.
时候吧，
And
就是可
it's
能
also a
在
learning
下面禅
and
堂
improving
在那么的
opportunity.
主管弟子
And
来教
in
你的时候可
these
能更容易。
centers,
在我这里，
when
生和
the
死就一步
when
就
the
到。
managers
所以
teach
你
you,
做
it
不
might
好
be
立刻就
easier.
干掉了。
If you
啊，
learn
你
by
做
my
好了之后，
side,
在这儿也没
if
人赞美
you
你，
can learn
就是这样。
it
你还
well,
不配我赞美。
then if you
所
don't
以
learn it well, then it's the end for you.
到菩
But
提
if
机
you
构来
do
说，
it very
是在
well,
下面的菩提
people
机构中
I
工
might
作
not
可能是
praise
最
you.
安全、
So
最容易学到
it's
东西，
safer for
也
you
最
if you
平安
work at a local
啊，也
meditation
最
center.
最
You
能
can
看
learn
到你的
things,
业绩。
and
啊
it's safer
但
to
是
you, and
宏观来说，特
we
别
can
欢迎
see
年
your
轻的朋友的加
achievements.
入。
But
啊，
in general, we
哎，
welcome
从
all
你来之
children to
前，
join
希望你
us.
有一技之长。
And before you come to
嗯，
join, I hope that you
但是
have a
呢，佛
skill.
法度一切有缘
And
人，就真没有难
however,
真想利益众生
Buddhism
的。
benefits
你
all
如果真有那个心，
sentient
其
beings
实
and
你
guide
也
all
能
sentient
够
beings
学到东
across.
西。
Even though if you
啊，你
don't
就会
have
听我
a
的话，
skill now,
对
but
吧？
as long as you
所以你
put
来
your
来
mind
之
to
前，
it,
你成
then
绩
you
不高，
will
你
be
要去
able
学
to
什么？
learn something.
学真记住
Say
了。
that before you come, if you don't
学
have
那
a
些
good
一进就是
grade,
动手的
what
呀，
can
或
you
者动
learn?
嘴的呀，
You
是
can
文
learn
化
a
的这些
skill,
谋生之
learn
道。
some
尤其
handiwork, or
是
learn some
正
work
骨课，
taken
哦，对，
used
是
by
别
communication.
忘
Learn
了吧哈，
traditional
尤其是正
Chinese
骨课。
uh,
啊，
chiropractor.
你在来之前，
So
可
before
能
you
你几点
come,
钟起床？
what time
你
should
几
you
点钟
wake
睡
up?
觉？你有
What
没有
time
在
do you
成
go
天
to
在打
bed?
游戏？
Do you
你有没
play
有在那
games
网上
every
来
day?
骗人？
Do you cheat
你有没有
other
在胡说
people
八道？
on the internet?
这些你来
Do
之前都得
you
改好了，
you have
否
to
则一
correct
天
your
都过
bad
不了这关。
habits.
你
Otherwise,
就
you
会
can't
你哪来
even
的回哪去了？
um,
那你
pass
多
one
难受
day
是
with
吧？
me. I
所
will
以
just
先
send
让
you
自
back
己
to
哈，
where you
先
came
有
from.
个好习
Then
惯，
how
早晨
bad
5
would
点
you
钟起床，
feel?
起来
So
练功，
first, you
走
have
八
to
卦，
have a good
是不是？
habit.
听师傅的开示，
Get up and walk
还去
energy
帮人，
Bagua. Listen to
是
my
吧？带
teachings
八
and
卦
help
点，
other
你
people.
都你来
Go
你来之
to
前
the
你要
energy
做好这个
Bagua
工作多
and
好啊！你
Bagua
什么都没
practice
做，
point
这
and
师傅
lead
来
them, lead
来
a
你
group
度
of
众
people
生，
to
你拉倒吧，
practice.
你啥都做
If
不
you
了，
haven't done anything
你
and
什么
tell
都不
me
会
that you want to
嗯
come and help sentient
啊。
beings,
所以希望那
you
个有
don't know
缘的你
anything,
哈，
what can you
要
do?
做好这些
So I
准备
hope
啊。
that if
菩
you
提机
have a
构也
karma
随时欢迎
connection
你
with
哈。
us,
如果
get
有这愿
prepared
望
and
的，
we
就
welcome
写
you.
信给我，
If you
我的邮
have
箱可以
this
贴出
wish,
来哈。
just write
不
me
想
an
虚度，
email. It's buxiangxudu at
所以这个
gmail.com.
很容易记哈。
It's very easy to
你
remember.
要写信给我的时候，把
When
你的
you're
工作介绍
writing
写得越
the
清楚越
email
好。
to you,
嗯，
to
有
me,
的是师傅让我去吧，这没
be
用。我都
give
问
me
你是
details
谁，你
of
去哪呀？你会干啥呀？
give me details
对不
of
对？啥都不知道，我
of
不可
who
能
you
同意啊，
are. If I
对
don't
吧？
know
那
who
本
you
来这
are,
个思
if
维
I
就太
don't
单纯
know
了哈。
you, then
嗯，
I will not
好，今天
agree.
的这个时间也不早了哈，
So
给年轻的朋友们呢交流了这么多，
that's all for
哎，
today. We've talked
你可能听
we've
我这样
talked a
说话
lot to our
就不太
young
习惯，你们说话
friends.
那么冲啊，
You
那么
might
直白啊，
not
也许每一种选择都是很好的
you
选
might
择，
not
我
you
也
you
相
might
信这
not
一
be
点
used
哈。
to
如
the
果你
way
有
I
那个福
speak,
气，你
become
选择什
so
么都是对的。
frank and straightforward.
但是如
If
果我
you
说我
have
的
the
未来我成
words, if you have the fortune, then whatever you select, it's right. But if you want to use your consciousness and create your beautiful future, then follow my guidance. Then you will have motivation to study and work. If you want to follow my guidance, get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Remember Bei Hui from Los Angeles, after she heard my teaching. She hasn't been to a class. She got up at 5 a.m. When her parents are sleeping. She has finished all her homework and she lost weight and became the honor student. Her future is broadened. She is confident and she has self-discipline. Such a child is the best. Whatever she says, she will make her word count. This type of person, when I say it's scary, it's just a description. You will be very successful and have great achievements. I hope that my straightforward words and frank words can be a good reference for our young friends and parents. There's no right or wrong. It really depends on your fortune, depends on your state of mind in life. I hope that every children becomes better and better. I hope you have a beautiful and happy future. I wish everyone good health and longevity, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment. Let's meet again next Friday. Next live stream is North America time, Friday, July the 8th at 6 p.m. and Saturday, July the 9th at 9 a.m. in Taiwan, Taipei time.
在茫茫人海之中，让我与您相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有恐惧。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。